So you guys walk out of this room, and you walk back into the main hallway. And from where you guys are, directly to your left, there is another hallway where you guys originally came from. Slightly above that, there is a hallway with the single torch burning at the end, like we talked about earlier. And to your right, that is where you hear the flow of the water coming from.
Water.
I walk toward the water.
I kind of want to go check out the single torch.
So he kind of wants to go check it out, and you have already started walking towards
I
it.
walk toward the water. How close is the water to me?
So you can't see the water. You just hear it. You just can hear it faintly in the distance in the room that, in the area, in the hallway that goes off to the right. So, what is le plan?
I want to go look at this torch.
You guys divide? You guys split ways?
And conquer.
I'm going to peek my head around at least the first turn, just to kind of see if I can't see the water from...
Okay, so I think I just ate some of this microphone.
Hamilton would like to say, Topher, why don't you come with me and Benedict can go with Bartholonude? I don't feel like smelling my brother anymore.
Thank fuck.
Vyswine,
Okay.
where do you want him to go?
I don't really care about Vyswine. He can go fuck himself.
Okay, well, Vyswine starts furiously masturbating right in the middle of the hallway.
Big gold dragon dick.
So as I kind of walk down the hallway, do I see the water?
No. As you start to walk down the hallway, you can hear it more clearly, but you can see all the way down the hallway clearly into the next room.
So
And
the
there's-
water seems like it might be in the next room.
Somewhere down there, you can hear the flow of water. Clearly.
I follow the sound.
So is Topher coming with me?
Yeah, Topher, what are you doing? Other than hanging yourself with the cord.
Dying slowly.
I mean, if everybody's already split up, I've already expressed earlier that we shouldn't, but I'm not going to let Hamilton go by himself. So
I'm very small.
Okay.
Very small.
very low armor.
I mean,
Yeah, very slow.
as a D&D player and a D&D, as a
He
D&D
is a
player,
cleric. He probably would not want to leave me by myself in the dark.
No, I agree, and I think he's right. As a D&D player, I agree with Daniel's sentiment that you normally should not split up.
You don't play
But
D&D.
well, no, I never do because I'm always fucking DMing. So, that being said, it does introduce an interesting dynamic, the party being in two separate locations. So, all right. So here's how we're gonna do this. Benedict, Bartholonude, you guys go down the hallway
Yep.
with
Skirt.
towards the water sound. Do you guys
Yep.
take Vyswine with you?
If he wants to come, he can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Vyswine
He is
is
furiously masturbating. I'm sure that's his
He
plan.
probably is ready to come.
I really just when I noticed he was masturbating, I kind of thought he was just rearranging himself because he did get hit in the balls pretty hard. Like
It started with a
few minutes
rearrange,
ago.
but then he just realized that,
Maybe he's got actual
himself.
blue balls and he thinks that.
he comes golden acid dragon blood.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
it's hot.
So, I'm gonna follow Topher and Hamilton for a moment.
Follow us.
You guys decide that you're gonna split off.
Well, I decided we were going to split off. Topher just kind of agreed to come with me.
Because I
Topher
didn't want him to
Topher didn't want to abandon you by yourself, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
He's a real
Yeah.
swell guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the fucking hill dwarf badass and the two dragon fuckers going by themselves, and you've got the human and the fucking gnome going by themselves. This is great. This is legit, just like Scooby Doo. It's like I'm Shaggy, I'm Shaggy, you're
combined
Scooby.
feet.
Like,
Got Scrappy Doo and Scooby Doo heading down this fucking hallway.
Ruh-roh. All right, so you guys walk down this hallway, and you guys can hear clanging in this hallway, like massive amounts of metal.
Topher, I
smashing.
hear clanging down this hallway.
Okay.
as do I.
So as
Excuse me.
it's a good like 30-40 feet down this hallway, and as you get to the end, there's a giant drop off. just a huge cliff.
How big is giant?
Good, like 100 feet down.
Oh, it'll kill me then.
If you
I pick Hamilton.
try if you want to.
I pick Hamilton up and throw him. I come back and be like, I don't. He disappeared, guys. I apologize. Gone.
All right. All right. So
Never mind. Go ahead. I just have something.
it's descriptive. All right. So you look over the edge of this cliff, and on top of you noticing that it is just tremendously steep, and you kind of like step back just to make sure you don't fall away from it. You look down, and you see half of it is water, and the water kind of comes to an end, and almost like a beach, but it's all just stone and it's rock. And on the wall, you see massive chains, and there's plates on the wall where there's giant metal, almost like handcuffs, and you see a giant fire giant that is chained to the wall by his wrists, and his hands are outstretched, and his body is stuck in the water, and he is just resting in the water and struggling to get free. But you can tell by the look of the chains, they're rusted. They have been there for a long time. He has been in this water for a while, and
So
he
there's
cannot get free.
There's multiple fire giants then, because that one obviously it's been there for a long time, and then the one that bust through and drug us down here.
Perhaps.
So when we walk up, it's like
Perhaps.
there's
That's
this
the truth,
drop off,
isn't it?
and again, like across from us, it's just a wall that goes all the way down to him. I'm assuming.
Right, and you guys can see all this from above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a wall like on either side of us, and then there's a wall. in
It's
front of us.
it's a circular cavern.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and you can look
Okay.
down into this.
So Benedict, not Benedict,
Brother, I mean,
Topher. Do you think we should go rescue him?
Not by ourselves. I think that we should do that, but we could use some help from the rest of our party, but I would like to investigate further.
All right,
Perfect.
I'm going to break right here, and I'm going to switch to Vyswine, Benedict, and Bartholonude.
Cool. I'm going to take a nap.
You guys walk down this other hallway, and as you're walking, the floor changes from crystal back to stone and gold again. And you walk out of the hallway, and it opens up into this massive circular cavern. And the walls are striped almost perfectly linear with gold and stone. And as you look around, you can hear the river, and to your right, the wall is almost perfectly circular. And as you look to the left, you can now see the river. And in the river, there are 4 massive fire giants that are also stuck in the water, and they are chained. The chains come off the wall on these plates, and they come almost in a V pattern and come to the middle, and they're very tight, and they're chained by the neck, and they're stuck in the water. They cannot get out, and they are there, and you immediately perceive that because of what you're seeing, that is why the waters are heating immensely. It's becoming way too hot because the giants that live there to imbue the water with their magics are permanently stuck in the water. So you see
So
this.
how far away is the water?
From where you can see this from, you can't see all of the water. You can see the top of where all these giants are. You can see it's probably a good 100 feet away. It's a good ways away from you.
Is it like on the same walking surface?
It kind of goes down some, but yes, it's all one. There's no giant leaps or anything. It's all one path down to the water.
I mean, you want to go down there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so I'm going to break right there, and I'm going to go back to Hamilton and Topher. What are you guys doing? You saw this?
So Topher has just told me that he wants to wait for help. I jump on his back.
It's fine. I'd like to investigate more before we grab
Yeah.
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I jump on his back, and do you wear a backpack?
Back, let me check. I don't think so. Let me see.
Or any kind of sack, cloak, anything like that that I could get inside of.
I do have a backpack.
Perfect. I climb into his backpack and I zip myself up to my neck. Or, well, I guess I don't zip myself up. I tie myself up to my neck within his backpack, and I stick my finger out and I touch him on the back of the neck, and I cast Spider Climb.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Hell yeah. And for the duration of 1 hour, he can now move up, down, and across vertical surfaces and upside down along ceilings, all while leaving his hands free.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So
Oh,
Topher
boy.
has become Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
With
Spider-Man.
with free hands.
Spider-Man.
And that I now no longer have any first or second level spells.
Spider-Man.
All right.
Where is
so
Uncle
what are you
Ben?
doing, Topher?
Looking for Uncle Ben.
Well, he's dead.
Oh God.
Spoiler alert.
Well, Hamilton, where would you like to go?
I guess we should go talk to this fire giant.
All right, cool. Well, should we go like up and over and down, or should we go across the wall and then over and down?
Probably up and over and down.
Up and down.
Would be the
Okay,
safest
cool.
way.
Cool. So I climb up the wall and scurry over the ceiling and then go drop
Traverse,
down.
you mean?
I traverse the
Oh
ceiling.
my God.
Then I go and I traverse downwards towards this fire giant, staying, a good distance away from him. But we're both like head down, right above this fire giant.
Now, just to add a little flavor to this, Hamilton is terrified of heights. And he is not affected by spider climb. So gravity still has all of its effects on him. So as Topher is climbing over this thing, he is like holding on, terrified to Topher's
So
back.
I'm just imagining that you're like in his bag and it's like slung over him like a backpack.
Yeah.
And as he's like climbing, you're just like, your head is like sticking out of this like tied bag and you're like, oh God, oh God,
Yeah.
oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. All right, so you climb the wall directly to the right of the overhang, and you climb up and across, and you climb down between the torches, and you fall down, or you climb down between the giant plates that are holding the chains to the wall.
Yes.
And the arms of the fire giant are outstretched with the cuffs holding his hands, and you are now right there where the giant is, and he is looking at you, and he sees you, and he just lets out a loud, not mean, but just like I guess stressed kind of moan, like like a whale of sorts, I guess.
Fucking Free Willy up in this bitch.
I think we should free Willy.
Oh my gosh! Hamilton pulls out his dick.
So let me get this straight. So we are standing
I don't know
horizontally.
the last thing you ever got straight.
We are. We are.
I like that better than.
We are standing horizontally on the wall above this fire giant, right?
I just kind of imagined it as you have like climbed down the wall.
Yeah.
And you're not standing on it. You're like, he's like all like Spider-Man. He's like all four of his.
Well, no,
his hands and feet.
he can walk with his hands free. He can walk on 2 feet,
Oh, like
Yeah.
just like
normal. Just
walk.
walk like normal.
Okay. Yeah. So he's
that's
walking
that's perfect.
horizontally.
So that's perfect.
Like looking up.
So Hamilton is now kind of laying on Topher's back because
Yes.
gravity is like holding him up against Topher's back, and Topher has like no problem with this because of the spell. And Hamilton says into Topher's ear, he says, "Topher, I think we should free this giant."
I agree. I think we should free him.
So Hamilton undoes the bounds around his neck and climbs out of the bag and stands upright on Topher's back and takes out his staff.
Topher turns to his side. No, I'm just kidding.
And
I turn around to see what he's doing.
points it at one of the shackles that is holding this fire giant in place and casts Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Weird.
Go ahead and give me the attack roll on that Eldritch Blast.
That is a 18.
18. All right. So the Eldritch Blast leaves your newly empowered half staff, and it hits the shackles at the base. I'm assuming you were aiming at the plate. I just kind of imagined that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to blow the shackles apart.
Okay. Now, are you aiming them on his hands, or are you aiming at them? Like, I imagined you were aiming at them, the ones at the plates on the wall where they were attached, but are you aiming at his hands, or what are you aiming at exactly?
I guess probably the plates, because I don't want to, like, miss and hurt him.
Okay.
So probably the plates, or even just, like, a link of the chain.
Okay. I'll just say the plates.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
fine.
me.
Yeah.
So you aim up at the plates where the chains connect to the wall, and you cast Eldritch Blast, and this green ball of energy shoots out, and it hits the plate, and there's a giant explosion, and the rock kind of shoots off the wall, and the plate actually is half disconnected from the wall. It is now just hanging there halfway. Now the fire giant sees this, and he begins to yell and scream, and he tries to like pull it back, and you can see the plate on the wall. It's half disconnected, the other half is still attached, and he's pulling on it, and there's a lot of tension, and you could see it start to bend as he's starting to pull on it, and as he pulls on it, eventually it just snaps off, and one of his arms are free, and then he grabs the other with his other arm and begins to pull on it with both hands, and he rips it out of the wall, and he turns around and disappears into the water.
All right.
Was that a fire giant that they freed?
Yeah.
And he disappeared into the water.
Yep.
Well, the water wouldn't necessarily kill him.
No, I wouldn't say it
they
would kill
heat
him.
the
but
water on purpose.
Why?
I've explained this twice already.
Neverwinter. They live within the mountain, and they heat the river that flows out of the mountain to provide life to the surrounding areas.
That's why it's called Neverwinter.
Yeah, that's why it's called Neverwinter.
The water never freezes, and it provides life and permanent summer to the area of Neverwinter and the surrounding areas. So this fire giant disappears in the water under the side of the wall that you guys can see, and is out of sight. We're going to go back to Bartholonude, Vyswine, and Benedict. So Bartholonude, you start to make your way down towards the water, where you see all of these fire giants that are chained up in a similar fashion to what Topher and Hamilton were seeing. Not that you know that, but by the arms, and they're all their bodies are in the water, and they're stuck there, and they can't move. The difference between what they saw and what you were seeing is these chains that they are on are imbued with lightning, and they anytime that they move, as you're seeing and observing, they're attempting and struggling to get free, they get shocked, and then they're in the water, which is causing the shock to be intensified. You see lightning constantly shooting through the water, and these things, you hear them groaning and screaming, and just immensely distressed. So as you're making your way down towards the water, what do?
So I can approach the water and kind of get pretty close to the water and them, right?
Mm-hmm. The water is boiling. I mean, literally boiling.
Okay, so maybe you can provide some context for this for me.
Okay.
My goal here is to use my water skin and collect some of this water.
Okay. So just be very careful. You carefully pull out your water skin, and it was full earlier, and you dumped all the water out and gave everyone a drink to everyone in order to help them wake up. So you lower the tip of the water skin into the water, and it begins to fill up, and you pull it back up, and the boiling hot water that is left on it on the outside evaporates before it even comes off, or before it even gets a chance to drip off the bottom of the water skin. It's so hot. So you seal up your water skin, and what next? Benedict?
I don't know. I was thinking about being the breaker of chains. I would like to.
Daenerys Stormborn enters.
I know I can't get to the chains, right? Because
They're very high up. They're probably about.
You can't
30,
get 2
40.
chains. You just need an auto tune.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
So,
Anyway.
what level of creativity do I have with some of the defined spells? Like,
I like to reward creativity pretty hard. So if you can come up with something, I'm gonna try
Unless
to
you're
do
Hamilton
my best.
and then you lose 10 hit points.
I'm gonna try to.
what the fuck is that about?
I'm gonna try to do my best to make it work.
So
we'll see what we can do.
Do you
What's
want
up?
to? You want to maybe suggest to me that?
Yeah, I want to cast Frostbite on these chains.
Okay.
And what do you have that can just be like, whoosh y'all?
What,
So you have a whoa spell.
what I'm thinking is that I would kind of face the opposite direction and kind of look down into my hands, and I would cast my breath weapon into my hands and try to get some of the acid on my hand, and then I would throw the acid from the side of the shore onto one of the chains. Because if I would cast it at the chain, it's a cone, so it would, probably go everywhere and even hit them.
Yeah.
Whereas if I can have a little glob of it, I might be able to actually throw it and get onto the chain.
Concentrated glob of acid.
Yeah.
And
I
Tripping.
And
I
I mean,
very much appreciate the creativity here. I will. If you want to do that, let's do it. We'll just have to make sure that we do the appropriate checks to make sure it would work.
And like, just to kind of confirm the logistics behind why I've even thought of this, I have very high resistance to acid. My helmet provides me resistance to acid. I have a natural resistance to acid, so this acid
You can't trip.
hardly even affects me at all. Yeah.
You cannot.
Nope, I'm definitely not Mario.
I would say probably, and this is more me just kind of narrating this, probably to the point where it's more just like warm in your hands than it does actually hurt you. So
Come.
thank you for throwing that in there.
He's going to come in his hands and throw it.
So I do that. I turn around, I look down, and closely cast my breath weapon and collect some acid in my hand.
Like almost to the point where it's like both of your hands and you just fill your hands with this.
Yep, and that gives me
Okay.
2 throws.
I'm still.
Okay.
It's just seeing.
So you look on the side of the water, of the river where you guys are on. You look around and there is only one of the chains that of these fire giants that are close enough to where you can make this effort. It is off to your right, and it is on the shore of the water where the body is sticking out of the water and his hands are directly above him, and they are humanoid in shape. So you can kind of imagine like this giant fire. The head is sticking out of the water with his hands outstretched. He seems extremely tired. The eyes are burning red. Inside his mouth is burning red, and there's heat. That kind of like the air as there's heat is kind of like every breath he takes, there's like the hazy air that's coming out of his nose and his mouth. And he's kind of just laying there with his eyes kind of squinting as if he's really tired. And his hands are up, and you want to go ahead and try to throw one of these at the chain?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to throw it and hit between his arm and the end of the chain that I can see.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I don't want to do an attack because it's not... We'll make this a dex throw.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me that dex throw. Just do a dex check and add your modifier to it, and I'll have it try to beat the set I have in mind.
That's 13.
13 hits. I had 12 in mind, so we're good. So you hurl back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you explain how this works.
Tell us.
Okay, so the acid, it's pretty liquidy.
Right.
So I kind of do one of these jobbies.
What is these jobbies?
These
Tell us.
jobbies is kind of me letting the acid flow from one hand into the other, just to try to keep as much of it in my hand as I
Yeah,
can.
like a porn
And then
star
as
with
I
fresh
go,
load.
exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Very much similar to that, minus the viscosity.
Yeah,
it would have a lower
thinner.
It would have a lower
Yeah,
viscosity.
it's thinner than that. Yeah.
And as I do, like a snowball, I throw it, and it flies over the water. A few drips come down and land into the water.
This isn't actually over the water. This is actually
this-
still on land on your side.
But aren't these things in the water?
Well, the one The only one that you'd be able to do this with is out of the water on your side of the river.
Interesting.
Sorry, I explained that poorly.
So you
he's
could
out,
just
he's out of the
I
water.
listened poorly.
You
His
could
body,
just drop your load right out of your hands.
No, I mean it's definitely above you, like 25 feet above you. Like you'd have to throw this. It's just he's actually the river is flowing directly through the center of this room that you guys are in. It's a huge room, hundreds of feet wide, and on your side of the river, his body is coming out of the water, and his hands are outstretched like this, and he cannot get out of the river.
But he's in the water, right?
His body and legs are in the water. His upper torso and his head are on your side of the river, and his arms are outstretched.
Gotcha.
Up against the wall,
Gotcha.
or out towards the wall where the chains are extending.
Okay, so none of my drops of acid go into the water. I
Right.
just hit it and I nail it.
Right. It just hits the chain, and it begins disintegrating, but it does not break. You have
So
another
then
shot.
I call out, pull.
Pull. Okay. So you yell pull, and the fire giant begins to pull on the chain. And he is pulling both sides because he doesn't quite understand, but he knows exactly what's going on. He starts to pull backwards, and you can see there's a lot of tension on the chains, but there's not quite enough to get it to where it's going to break. But you can see the metal begin to twang, and it's heating up.
Okay,
And
as,
you can
as
see
he's
smoke
pulling,
coming from where your acid hit.
and as he's pulling, it stretches the chain, and that's the middle part of the chain that I aim for my next throw.
Okay, go for it. And since you're aiming for the middle part of the chain, and he's angled downwards, so it's a little closer to you than what I would say what they had aimed at with the Eldritch Blast. I'm gonna go ahead and give you advantage on this throw since you were familiar with the throw since you just made it.
$13.
Okay, perfect. So this hits directly in the same spot as you did before, and it begins to eat, and you see smoke coming from the chain, and you yell again, pull! And as he does, the chain snaps, and the water kind of makes a wave as he pulls backwards, and his body is shot out of the position it's been in for a while, and you see an indent in the rock where he has been laying, and it's seared into the rock where his body has just been impressed. And as he pulls back, he yanks the other arm with his other hand, pulling it backwards, and the chain shoots off of the wall. And he turns around and he sees all the other fire giants that are chained to the wall as well, that are just like moaning and in distress. And he begins to pull them. And as he does, one by one, they snap off of the wall. And he goes from one to the next, and there were 3 other giants in this room, and he pulls them, helps them one by one. And as he does, they all come loose and they disappear into the water at the south end of the room, under the
Can I
wall.
tell which way the water is flowing?
Yeah, the water is flowing north, or I should say at the top of the room. And it's in the center of the room, and it's flowing through from in the same direction as
Wait,
where
this
you
river
entered.
is flowing north?
Yes.
Doesn't
It's-
make sense.
Why?
Why? Well, generally, I guess it would depend on what hemisphere.
No, I'm sorry.
that we're
It's
in.
flowing south.
Okay.
It's flowing towards the way that you came in,
Yeah.
and they go that direction under the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of it from the opposite perspective, because I was thinking about this giant turning around and helping us.
Hashtag geologically agrees.
So you are now standing in this room, and the water is still boiling, and there are chains that are falling, and
So all of the elementals broke free?
all of the fire giants broke free,
Nice.
and they all disappeared under the southern wall and are out of sight.
So I look to Benedict and I say, job well done.
Good job.
Vyswine speaks up. He says, This makes no sense. If they were here and they were chained to the wall, why? Why would there be no one here to defend them? Where's the Golden Clan Elder? And I need both Benedict and Bartholonude to make a perception check.
So that's going to be my once a day perception advantage.
Did you get a crit fail?
Why did you not tell me what it was?
It was an 11, sorry.
Oh. And this
No,
is
I got
perception.
a 3.
Okay.
That's 13.
I got a 2 that time. So that would be a 9.
Wow, 13 and a 9. Okay. So, Bartholonude, you look across and you see these chains hanging from the wall in random places. They're all different lengths now because they've been broken off. And you see the lightning crackling from them as they were all chained with lightning. And across the across the river, you see a small pedestal where all the chains had come together, and they were all chained at the wrists, but also they were all had a smaller chain that was extending, and they were feeding to a small pedestal that was flat on the surface with a small railing. And there's random shelves and books and desks up on this railing, or this platform, you could say, that was definitely just made with like off-cut boards and things of that sort, just kind of just definitely jerry-rigged over there. And you can't really tell what was up there, but you can definitely tell that's where someone has been conducting some sort of experiment, or something has been happening over on this side of the water. So at this point, I'm assuming Hamilton and Christopher had been making their way back towards where Bartholonude and Topher had been.
I mean, I kind of wanted to check out where they were chained at.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll pause there and we'll go back to you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys wanted to just investigate the chains on the wall?
Just the whole area. to
Yeah,
see
the
what's going
area.
on.
Yeah, why was he chained here? Is there anything that we can see? Like, what is the significance of him being chained right here? Is there anything in the water? Where he was chained up at? The chains that held him in place? Like,
Okay, so you go to the...
Everything.
So both of you do a perception check for me.
That means I have to move.
Actually, make an investigation check. I'm sorry, not a perception check. Because you guys are kind of investigating the area.
so investigation.
Yep.
14.
15.
15? Okay. So, with a 15, Hamilton, you can see that the chains, you can perceive that there's nothing special about these. Jesus.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
The chains that were used to hold this elemental to the wall, or this fire giant elemental thing to the wall, just normal chains. This cavern is ginormous. The ceilings are immensely high. It is about from the size, or from where the chains are to the from where the chains were held at the wrists down to the floor, it's probably at 75 feet. So this thing was way bigger than whatever it was that pulled you guys down into this cavern in the first place.
So what I'm curious about is, obviously these things are huge and very powerful, because the one that grabbed us was smaller than these
Right.
and was powerful enough to grab us and pull us underground and not even really have to think about it, and we couldn't do shit about it. So, I mean, are these what size are these chains?
Oh, each one of the links in these chains is longer than you. And I
Well,
know that's not saying
saying
much,
much, yeah.
but longer than Topher. They're, 7-8 feet long chains.
So I mean, just
giant
from what I
chains.
can perceive, does it seem like these chains would need to be magically imbued to hold these giants in place? or just the strength of their?
Just the sheer size of them was able to hold them in.
Okay.
However, like I stated, and you don't know this yet as far as Hamilton goes, but whenever Bartholonude and Benedict in the other room, all the chains there were lightning imbued. So the water in this room is still boiling. It's very, very, very hot. And the rock where it comes up on, you notice something different about the rock in this room. There's no gold in it. It's just rock. There's no streaks of gold. There's no crystal flooring. There's nothing. It's just rock in this room.
Hamilton wants to open a conversation with Topher.
He clicks on his AIM tab and starts a conversation.
Topher goes offline.
Topher is away. Topher,
Yes.
why?
That did not sound like Topher.
Yes.
That also didn't sound like Topher.
No matter. It's constantly changing.
Why was this one rock elemental, fire elemental, giant, I don't know, whatever the fuck he was. Why was he chained in this particular area of the water?
It seems to me like they're using these to heat the water, and he might have just been the biggest. It might have been the only spot they had for him.
But the water branched.
Yes.
Why wouldn't they all be near the fork? This one lone giant up here by himself seems rather peculiar.
Well, your guess is as good as mine. Until we figure
You also
out.
don't know that there's other elementals yet. Keep that in mind.
Right,
You guys-
but I mean, there's this
Yeah.
one single giant by himself in this unassuming place with unassuming surroundings.
Right, but you don't know that there's other ones other than the one that pulled you down in.
Well, but we do know that there are like dozens or even hundreds of fire elementals that live within this mountain that heat the waters.
Not necessarily how many. You just know that there are elementals.
We know that there are multiple. And the
Right.
fact that there is one single giant chained up against the wall in this river seems weird to Hamilton.
Okay. Fair enough.
Maybe there's more somewhere else. Maybe this was his punishment, making him be alone.
Maybe he
Or-
got caught masturbating. So-
Furiously.
I don't know. Maybe he was the more powerful. Could heat up most going towards one of the fork.
His Tinder profile's on fire.
Hashtag lit.
No pun intended.
Maybe we should regroup with the others?
Probably.
All right.
Should probably do that.
Carry me out of this pit,
Okay.
bitch.
I start walking out.
So you guys walk the wall back out, and I'm going to go ahead and I spent a pretty significant amount of time with Benedict and Bartholonude. So I'm going to make it to where what they were experiencing at the last point where they made their perception checks and saw the little handcrafted station across the water as you guys walk back into the room with them. So now you guys are all back together. What do you guys want to do?
So
I feel
look
like we
over-
should all tell each other everything.
Yeah.
I look over to Benedict and say, earlier you spoke of your frost skill.
Yeah.
Use it on this water and see if it will freeze.
So the frost skill that you have,
Yeah, what's up?
give me that. That's the thing where you cast on a creature, right?
You cause numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see within range. The target must make a constitution saving throw. So water can't really make a constitution saving throw, so yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I was trying to reward your creativity there and let weird stuff happen, but in this kind of sense, it doesn't make much sense.
No.
What if Hamilton jumped into the water?
Don't do it, Hamilton.
So Topher and Hamilton like approach us from the rear, and I turn around and
Hey.
I begin talking about
Staff first.
what had went down. I look to Topher and I say, "So how many giants have you saved?"
One? How many have you saved? you
Bitches
big
ain't
piece of
shit.
How many ceilings have you climbed on?
No, for real though.
And I climb on the ceiling.
I just want to portray to them that there were giants here, and as they can probably assess from the chains, I point out some of the chains with my finger. I physically point to them and show them where the giants were, how many of them there were. This is like total four.
Four, yeah.
Four giants that I released one, and the other one went to the others and saved them. But it was weird. So I've pointed out to Topher and to Hamilton the small working area that was handcrafted across the way.
Okay.
So they now know that it's there.
So, question. The room that they're in, the room that we were in was obviously a dead end. It just like went down to where the elemental was. Can we continue on throughout this room?
It's a giant open area, and I mean, the room is completely open, but the river is separating it with about a 25 to 20 or to 30 foot gap, depending on the area of the
So
river.
we have to get across it.
to get to what Bartholonude just explained to you guys, the working area, that kind of jerry-rigged area. Yeah, that would be.
Hamilton is still in the backpack of Topher.
Yes.
And he leans forward and kind of whispers quietly into Topher's ear.
Woohoo.
How strong are you?
75.
What does it mean?
Perfect. Do you think that you could hold the weight of all of us?
Wow.
At once?
Yes.
No.
What if you had to?
I'll give it a shot.
I don't think it's gonna work, considering Bartholonude's like 370 pounds.
I could definitely take you and your brother.
Maybe we could go across one at a time.
Yeah.
But you can cross this ceiling.
Okay, listen here. Your brother is a druid, correct? He can transform into different animals and stuff, even though I haven't seen him do it in like 8 episodes.
This is true.
I could assist with him, and we could get all of us across.
So why don't you take me across?
All right, I could do that.
Can I make an observation on any of the rock walls around the river that might look like they're cracked or have weakness to them that we might be able to exploit?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
20, not a nat 20, just
There's
20.
actually a bridge here this whole time. You guys just didn't see it. Cross this shit. Let's go.
All right, so as you are gazing over the walls, you look over, and as the rock kind of juts in and out from the wall, very rock-like-ish patterns. Shut up, Jed. DMing would be a lot easier if you were dead in real life.
Well, playing would be a lot more easy if I was dead, too.
Wow. Fuck me, right? So as you look over across the river, you don't see anything on your side. But across the river, you notice that beneath this area where there is these support beams and this kind of makeshift, like a makeshift platform out of wood, you notice that the wall to the left on the floor, this thing stands probably about 15 feet up off the ground, but along the wall to the left of this
Is everything you own?
is it doesn't look like normal rock. It looks like it's kind of like barricaded with stone and pebbles and things of that nature. So the wall just looks kind of like the integrity is not 100%. But that is on the other side of the river.
How big is this open cavern where we're currently at?
Huge. Probably a good like 100 feet.
Huge.
100 feet tall, probably like 400 or 500 feet wide.
So
It's massive. It's a massive cavern. Remember, there's like 3 or 4 fire giants in here. There's a massive river flowing through the middle of it.
how loud is my echo if I were to scream?
It reverberates pretty well, but I wouldn't say super loud because it's not like a straight cavern. It's a very wide open room.
So we're not talking like acoustics for a Garth Brooks concert.
I'm just gonna literally ignore every question you ask unless it's in character voice. And Garth Brooks does not exist in this universe.
So we're not talking about the acoustics at a Bartholomew Brookson concert, are we?
Bartholomew Brooks.
I quit.
Jesus.
All right. So, Bartholonude, you looked over and saw this possibly compromised integral wall. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I'm already getting across, so.
I take off my book bag and walk
like
up the
this is
wall
not a me
without
problem.
Hamilton. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that because he'll just
I
like,
can.
he'll just get rid of the spider climb and I'll just be fucking fine. No, I don't do that then.
So you walk across the wall with him. Do you want to like walk all the way up to the ceiling, or just like walk along the wall across the, over top of the river? Because remember, the river goes underneath of the wall on the north and the south side of the room.
Would it be quicker for me to traverse the wall or traverse the ceiling?
The wall.
We'll do the wall then. Because maybe I can get to the other side and maybe there's some kind of lever or something that might allow a bridge to fall.
Okay.
We might be able to find a glory hole that has a lever inside.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
just
look
not
over
gonna,
to
not going to acknowledge you at all during this fucking session.
I look over to Vyswine and I say, Vyswine, do you have any ideas for how we
Holy
can cross
fuck.
this river?
Vyswine is still here.
He is. He's been quiet because he's really angry at Jed for existing.
Wait, what kind of spells does Vyswine have? Does he have anything that could help?
Vyswine is not a spellcaster.
Yeah.
Oh, is he not?
No, the only spell he has is very similar to.
He's a pig farmer.
It's also not true. He's a golden, which means the only thing that goldens really have is they have their breath weapon, and they're immune to fire.
Their
Oh, I
breath
think his
weapon?
breath weapon is actually bridge. He breathes bridges.
God fucking damn it.
He's like, I never thought this would come in handy. You guys are never going to believe this.
Yeah, they have a fire. They have fire resistance, and their breath weapon is fire as a golden. Vyswine himself does not have any spells at his disposal.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to try.
Try it, bruh.
I'm going to get a running start at this river. And at the last second, right as I'm about to jump out over the water, I'm going to try to stay as low as possible. And I'm going to use my bedroll as a little surfing board and try to surf long enough to where I can jump off of the bedroll to make it to the other side of the river.
Oh man, you are a risky man, my friend. This is
It's either risk or sit on this side of the river for the rest of the match.
you are
So
Why don't-
370 pounds.
Why don't you wait until we get to the other side and look around to see if we can...
okay, I'll do
See
that.
anything
I guess I don't want to
before
risk.
you-
I don't want to risk my life or anything.
Okay, so you're standing there with like your bedroll, like looking at the river, going.
You said that.
Jed looks at me and he's like, "Yes, you would risk your life."
And as you are doing this, Topher is walking across the wall,
Traversing.
very, very skeptical, as he does not trust Hamilton in the slightest, I would imagine. You reach the other side and you plant your feet firmly on the normal ground, and you are on the other side of the river.
All right, I want to look around and see if there's any kind of... anything that'll help us get our large friends across this river.
I'm over here
See what I
too, so
can
I'm probably
see.
going to look as well.
Okay, so both of you guys make perception checks.
It's going to be a 15 for me.
14.
All right, so as you guys reach the other side of the river, you plant your feet on the other side of the rock, and you guys are looking around, and you notice on the far side of the wall, completely opposite direction of where you are, there is kind of a stone inlet tucked behind some rocks that you couldn't see from the other side of the river.
I want to go back there.
Okay, is Hamilton still in your backpack, just kind of riding along with you?
Yes.
Okay. So who?
I've got
who-
him on a baby leash. Too. So
So you
if
guys-
he tries to run away, he's still tied to my wrist. He can't
Your
go very far.
backpack's actually your backpack's on your front right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a little baby carriage.
It's a baby knapsack.
Oh, how cute!
So you guys start to walk across the room back down towards the inlet on the other side. And as you get there, you realize that there's a couple things in this room. There are multiple spools of rope. There are multiple slabs of wood. And there are some hooks. There are some chains. There's a lot of just random knickknacks laying around.
So me and Topher are gonna be in here for a minute, I think.
Sounds like some serious S&M shit in this room happening right now.
So there's wood, rope, chain.
Chains, hooks, all kinds of nails, all kinds of stuff. Just a lot of building materials.
Is there anything magical in this room?
You're a warlock.
No. Like, That's fair. That's fair. I deserved that. Are there any magical items in the room?
Make a Arcana check.
That's an 8.
Nope.
Okay, so how long would it take us to build a boat?
out of ropes and chains.
You said there's wood.
There's wood in
Random
here.
slabs of wood, I said.
Yeah,
Probably
nails.
not enough
like
for
a
a boat.
like a
Dude,
raft.
people build boats out of trees.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Benedict.
You don't just go find a boat tree and you just cut it down
I
and it's a
said
boat
there is a
house.
small there is a small inlet with some
Hey,
random
Benedict.
slabs of wood laying here. I doubt there's enough to build a boat, is what
I
I'm trying
am
to say.
very small.
Benedict.
They are not.
They're not.
Turn into some fucking bees and go over there with them. You might as well.
Yeah,
not stay here
Benedict
with
can
me.
get over there no problem.
Well, what I was going to say was I'd like to become a spider, walk across the wall over there while holding a rope, and then I'll turn into a gorilla. And when he goes to jump, I'll just be like pulling the shit out of the rope.
fucking
How
genius.
many
that's good.
spiders?
That's actually a really good idea.
How many
Hold
spiders
on,
have
let's
you
see
ever
what
seen
he's got.
carry
Let's see
a
what
rope?
he's got. He's
Tied
got
around me.
It's a little spider
How
with a
big is the
leash.
rope?
Yeah, well,
It's a big spider.
is it the giant spider?
Yes.
I'm trying to see if I'm
That's
pretty
one of
sure
the things
he
you
can,
said I could turn into.
If he can turn into a
he
giant
can turn
spider,
into a giant centipede. yeah, I knew that was gonna get you.
Why don't
Yeah,
you-
they
why
can.
don't-
There's
walls
a
will
giant,
do
there's
that.
giant wolf spider, giant lizard. All these things can walk on walls. So, what's it gonna be? Benedict is pensive.
Curious thoughts ensue.
I'm gonna be the spider and carry the fucking rope, and I'm gonna pull him across the river as he jumps.
Are you gonna do the gorilla thing?
Yes.
You're gonna transform into the spider.
Mm-hmm.
So you whoosh spiders.
Whoosh.
I want you to describe what kind of wolf spider you look like.
I
What are
don't
your-
want
what
to
are your
'cause
markings?
I don't like spiders. I look like I look like Tony the Tiger, except as a fucking spider.
He's like walking across the wall, going, "This
tiger
plan was
spider.
great."
Can we talk about how terrifying that would look?
Yeah. You look scary as shit.
8-legged Tony the Tiger with
Carrying a bowl of
eight
cereal,
eyes.
spilling milk all
Almost-
over the place.
Almost a Mexican red knee. Real spider, by the way.
A Mexican red knee?
Yeah, strange.
Build the wall.
We
That one took me a couple seconds.
Just fucking build it.
All right, so Bartholonude, you are standing there as you just were talking to Benedict, and he was apparently struggling, trying to figure out what to do, and then he just like, poof, like just changes into this giant fuck off spider like right next to you, and just Tony the Tiger's right over the wall, and just right over the river.
Tony the Tiger.
And onto the other side as his rope is laying on the ground, kind of unraveling next to him as it's like around a couple of his legs.
I'll go over and kind of grab the rope to guide it so it doesn't get wet as he's slowly pulling it toward him to cross the river.
Okay. So, Benedict, you scurry down the other side of the wall and onto the ground over near Topher and your brother Hamilton. And there you are. And then you wild shape into an ape. Wild shape that ape.
Yes.
Do you still look like Tony the Tiger as an ape?
Yes.
Calling all graphic design artists. I would love to have a print of this. but I want one mid
It
transformation.
has my
between,
face, but it's just the rest of fucking
I want one that's mid
Mid-transformation.
transformation from the spider to the ape.
some fucking
It's just an
Animorphs shit.
eight-legged ape.
God, that is
We'll have to put some
terrifying.
sort of disclaimer for any sort of, violation of copyrights, trademarks. This is Tony the Ape, okay? Get it right.
They're mediocre.
Yeah, do I have to, I'm assuming we have to roll, right?
Yeah.
So I also,
I was gonna say, I was-
kind of guide the rope a little bit. And you know how when you're vacuuming and you kind of hold the cord to where it doesn't get in the way
Yeah.
of things? Similarly with the rope, although
Hold tension.
Benedict or Bartholonude doesn't know anything about vacuum cleaners. So he just, this is a new paramount experience for him. You feel like he's crossing into other dimensions. But he holds the rope and he kind of pulls it to where it's taut, and he gets prepared to be jerked forward and to jump simultaneously as far as he can.
Do you get a running start,
About to get jerked.
or do you just you're just gonna stand there?
I don't know. That's a good question. How are we going to do that? Because if I get a running start, you have to be running as fast or faster than me in the opposite direction for the rope to not lose tension.
Yeah.
So how fast can your wape run, motherfucker?
What's your vertical?
Oh, I've already went over this. I believe my vertical is a lot more than the dungeon master's going to give me credit for.
He was talking about a long jump. We're talking about vertical here. Those are different.
Okay, all right. Well, I
Yeah,
think
he's also 370 some pounds. I still don't feel like it's that amazing.
and it's still pure muscle. It is so rabidly sexy. You don't even know.
rabidly sexy. Just foaming at the mouth, sexy.
Beautiful chaos.
So, I mean, I guess I could go to the edge of the river with the same amount of tension,
cool. I
and
like
then
that
you
more.
go back a little bit farther, and then we run, and then at the climax of
So
the
why
jump,
would
I
you
just
not
go really hard.
tie the
climax.
rope around your body and then run and jump?
boiling?
Because I really feel like that if there is any loss in tension, I might be able to reach forward on the rope and then even use the rope to pull to get
You could
myself.
still do that. If
more
it was tied
like-
around
I mean, you can still do that if it was tied
Yeah, you
around
can
you.
do
You
that.
can still hold it. But then, in the event that you don't make it and you fall.
That's a really bad idea. I need you to keep that to yourself.
Okay. Never mind. I didn't say anything.
I say we should just go for it. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying-
I can paint a picture.
Let's do it.
I guess.
Here, let me throw guidance your way, though.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh.
Good call.
Yeah, both of you. Well,
Can you
actually,
bless him or something like that too?
Josh, I can give you guidance. I can't give you guidance
'Cause
because
it's
I
on
actually have
touch.
to be touching you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, Josh,
touch me.
Benedict, you have guidance.
His
Oh wait,
ape
you're a
arms are
gorilla right
tingling.
now, aren't you?
He's an ape.
So we both kind of get on the opposite edges of this river, and I kind of hold the rope to where it's nice and tight, and he takes off running in the other direction, and I give it my mightiest leap. And as I give it my mightiest leap, I also pull myself further in that direction.
I really like this, but this is 25 feet, minimum, that you guys are trying to pull this off. From.
Every time we suggest something, you're like, "Oh, this isn't gonna work." So let us just try it. Let's go for the
I'm
roll.
not saying it's not going to work. I'm saying I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right. So I need Benedict to make a strength check, and then I need Bartholonude to make an athletics check.
I just thought of what would happen if I rolled a crit fail. Fuck.
You have guidance.
Close enough. Oh yeah, does that mean I get
Guidance
another roll?
is a plus 4, right?
You roll a d4
and add to that.
and add it.
Okay.
Pyramid. A 3.
3.
Nice.
So 3 plus you have a 3
a
plus
9.
3 strength.
Yeah.
So it's a 9 total.
No, you have
No,
a
it's
plus 3
11.
strength. So
Yeah,
it's a
11.
12. 3.
Oh, 10, 11.
6.
Jesus Christ.
3.
Yeah, 12.
12.
I have a 9 total.
Oh man, guys. Oh man. All right. So
It's great rolls.
this ape takes off running, and as soon as Bartholonude feels the tension on this rope, he makes a massive leap. And this rope, this ape, as he gets to the end of the tightness of the rope, It is an overbearing amount of weight. And you pull forward, and so much so that you're really trying here. And you pull this, but you physically have to fall over to get this rope to move forward in the slightest. And Bartholonude, you are probably, I would say with the pull and your jump, you're probably a solid maybe like 12 feet out from the side of this river, and then you start to fall.
I see this, and I'm still like in that inlet. I want to grab as much wood as I can and throw it out into the middle of this water, trying to get it like out there to where he's got something to like, at least grab a hold of.
Okay.
I know the water's hot.
Okay, so make a strength check. Actually, I'm going to make that an athletics check because you're trying to like accurately place that beneath him.
To 9
Total?
Yeah, but honestly, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay. Look at him using his inspiration to help you out.
I can't delete
I don't
that.
deserve it.
That is a 22.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then,
So-
like, as this is all happening,
Andy.
and he's like beginning to do that, I'm like kind of in midair, and like struggling in midair, I just bust out and
Trying to like Flintstone across the water.
You hear from this inlet, you can't see me. You just see wood flying, and I'm yelling, Kobe!
Plot twist: you throw me instead of the wood.
That was actually my plan.
Okay, so
I mean, like, but okay, so I did this, but how much wood?
get a woodchuck chuck. A woodchuck
Damn it, you
chuck
beat me
wood.
to it.
I would say you probably hold like 2 slabs at once in your hand.
Okay. Well, I throw as much as I can out before he like goes down.
So you're just like chucking it like as quickly
like,
as you
frantically, fucking just.
I would say from where you were, you probably only had enough time as you saw this happening to only throw like once. As
so I
you
threw like 2.
I mean, I'm on his chest. I should be able to throw one too, right?
Yeah, but you didn't say this and it's already happening, so sorry, Dad.
Well,
As I'm throwing this, I'm like, I say, Hamilton, I really wish you would have helped me, you piece of shit.
So,
Fucking useless motherfucker. Goddamn hate you.
all right, so here's what's going on.
Rick!
As this is happening, Bartholonude, you are in the air and you are falling and you're a little freaked out. But as you're falling, you see a couple slabs of wood land in the water beneath you. And you are just bracing for impact. And then you feel something hit your hand. And as it does, you immediately instinctually try to grab it. And it is a rope. And Vyswine has thrown a rope and it has lassoed your hand. And he is standing in the edge of the water, about 3 feet in from the shore. As he is a golden dragon, they have an immunity to fire. So he is able to stand in this water and it not do
Boy, thanks,
much
Vyswine.
to him.
You fucking piece of shit.
And as you're falling, he pulls it and it pulls your arm. You still land in the water, but he quickly pulls over towards you and you are buoyantly floating on top of the water, on top of these boards that Topher had chucked underneath of you. So it does burn you and sear you, but your scales offer some pretty decent protection, and you take 2 damage as you reach the other side of the river and climb to your feet and come to the other side with everyone else.
Wait, I'd like to go ahead and start moving. Through,
Your joints unfreeze.
So whenever we came across here, the only thing that we saw was this inlet. We came over here to look at something, though.
Yes.
yeah, the wooden little place where it looked like some like
Something was-
workshop.
something was
of
going
some
on there.
sort.
Yeah, there is a wooden set of stairs that leads up to the top of this. It's kind of like just a platform, like a railing. You see various tables and things like that as you get closer to it. So if you guys would like to go up to that
Yeah,
area.
I'd like to go up there. I want to do an investigation check to make sure there wasn't a fucking boat up here the whole time.
No, you would have. Oh, when you get up there,
when I get up there.
It's not really big enough for a boat.
Okay,
so.
fair enough. Okay, yeah, I want to go up there.
Okay. So, do you guys all follow? You guys all taking off up that direction?
I mean, I kind of have to.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still an ape.
so
Sweet.
Great.
Are you gonna stay in ape?
great.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay an ape.
Fucking
Sweet.
baboon over here.
No, an ape.
Awesome.
Hashtag throwback.
I kind of walk up by Topher and reach up with my hand and kind of stroke Hamilton's head, just like he's a little pet.
You had to really think about that for a
Kind
second.
of pet him there a little bit.
It's the only time he'd be able to stroke your fucking hair.
Oh, great!
You're bald. Stupid.
You don't have hair.
Okay, yeah. So I go up on this platform here where all these stairs are and tables and stuff. So
Okay.
what do I see up here?
So you don't make it up there yet. As you're climbing the stairs, make a Constitution saving throw.
Great. Wait, do we both have to make a saving throw? Because
Well, what happens to you directly is
great.
It is up to him.
Well, that's a 13.
Okay, and that's fine. So as you're climbing this like rickety staircase, this rickety wrecked staircase, the boards beneath your feet crack, and one of your foot like flies through it, and you start to fall off the stairs, but you catch yourself on the banister, and then Hamilton is like hanging out of this backpack that's hanging on your chest, and I'm just imagining like this little head. It looks like he's birthing out of this backpack.
Oh my god.
There's a placenta that like flies out the side of his head.
Hamilton rapidly pushes the placenta back into the bag.
What's this doing here?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going up the stairs, and I'm gonna wrap my arms around Hamilton in front of me, just in case I fall forward, to protect him as much as I can.
Okay. So you continue to climb the stairs. Do all of you guys follow him up the staircase?
Yeah.
I don't honestly think that Vyswine or Bartholonude should, because
Well,
if
I was-
my ass fucking fell through that, they're a lot heavier than me.
I was actually going to mention Vyswine does not climb the staircase.
Okay.
He seems hesitant because, as you guys remember or may remember,
I do remember.
he says
sketchy
he
piece of
says
shit.
that he was instructed to lead you all here by the Golden Clan Elder, and he had a spell put on him, and he did not want to do that, and now he is of sound mind. And it didn't seem like you guys fully believed him, but he hasn't done anything to prove or to show you that, or give you any reason to believe that you shouldn't believe him after that point. So, Vyswine is kind of skeptical. He is a golden. He doesn't necessarily respect the Golden Clan Elder for what happened, but he is still kind of fearful of him.
Okay,
So.
that's fine, but he didn't tell us that he could just cross the river without being hurt. So I really don't give a shit about his skepticism.
Well, he didn't have to tell you. He just did it. You should have seen it. You have eyes.
No, look back at the rest of the party, and I'm gonna say, Bartholonude, I don't know if you should traverse these stairs or not. I almost fell through, and you weigh a lot more than I do, and that's not a fat joke. That's not meant to be offensive. But Benedict, are you gonna come up here with us?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you should not sound like that.
Like fucking Mickey Mouse?
What would a monkey's? What would an ape sound like that looked like Tony the Tiger?
You?
I don't know. Probably great.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Try it.
Give us some shits, bruh.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Have I told you how much I love you? That was awesome.
Nailed it first.
That's canon.
Perfect.
Canon lore.
And he didn't mean he's coming up the stairs. He means he's literally coming.
Yes.
C-U-M-M-I-N-G.
He's like, I'll be right there.
Okay.
I'm not sure if coming actually has two M's or not.
It does.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be cooming, and that's not a word.
I know it definitely has one eye.
Oh.
Means you're the only one coming tonight.
And no Daniels.
I come every night. I'm talking about.
Oh, Duke.
Oh, poor dog.
Poor Duke.
So I'm gonna
But
go
yeah,
ahead and okay. So Benedict's following me up the stairs. I'm gonna go ahead and continue up. I want to get to the top.
Okay. This isn't a huge staircase. You just had a little bit of issues with that stair breaking underneath you, indicating it's pretty rickety. This is old as dirt. Like, this is really old stuff you're climbing on. So as you get to the top of this staircase, it's kind of like this makeshift floor with it's like wooden rails and nails sticking up out of the floorboards and stuff. But as you look around, you notice that there are various scrolls with different writings on them and books and things of that nature with various symbols of gods and other symbols that are all dragonborn text. You can't read any of them. Hamilton, you can though.
Oh, shit, I can?
Yes. As we stated in episode 1, you were very familiar with ancient deity text and things of that nature.
Indeed, yes.
So you can see these texts and you recognize them to be... Actually, make a history check for me.
I will. Well,
Maybe not.
it's not great. That's going to be a 7.
You got a splinter in your eye. You can't read anything.
You got glaucoma.
Yeah, you got
So, as you start to look at these scrolls, you start to look over them. You can read the text on them, but it's really not making any sense to you. You start to put together random pieces of words, such as random colors you see on there. As you could tell that each one of these scrolls is pertaining to different types.
Tie-dye recipes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Just T-shirts hanging from these chains
Yeah.
on the walls, and just
The room
this is
smells
definitely
like weird candles.
Yeah, the Golden Clan Herald
Is there-
comes out and he's like, "Hey guys!"
Is there a website linked to his Etsy?
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you guys.
Got incense burners all over the place.
No, at each one of these, you see just different references to Dragonborns and different colors and powers and things of this nature. It's kind of concerning to you, possibly, depending on what you've seen, but it's not really making that much sense to you. You're just able to... you're having a hard time conjuring as to exactly what you're reading.
Do any
Okay.
of you have the inkling to tell me about this, or am I just down here? Well, must not be going anything up there.
I don't know what's going on because I can't read this shit, and Hamilton hasn't said anything.
So this might be an ignorant D&D question, but just in general, if you're not capable of reading a language, does that mean you're also incapable of knowing what language it is?
Not necessarily. That's going to depend on the check.
So, can I tell anything else about the room? Like, does it look like anybody's been in here recently?
You can't really tell when the last time someone's been there, but you can tell that these scrolls and things like that are laying there, they're not that dusty. So, and this is a cave.
Yeah.
So,
Is there an exit, or is there just like one way in, one way out?
Not that you can tell.
So,
but you haven't really looked around the room up from this perspective yet.
So when you say I am like concerned by what I see on the text, am I?
Well, let me rephrase that. You're not concerned as in like it's troubling you. You're reading them and you're trying to piece it together, and it's concerning to you that you can't, just because you didn't have a good enough check to really figure out what it was.
Right. Okay.
So.
So I mean, how many scrolls are we talking here? Like dozens, hundreds?
Dozens, books, things of that nature with various god symbols on them and spell books, and the ones that are unveiled on the table that you can tell have been recently perused.
Could I possibly? So what I want to do
interrupt me? Yeah,
I want to figure out, coming from you.
I'm the DM. Usually, there's a reason for me interrupting.
So what I want to do is I want to try to get a sense for, out of all of these texts in the room, are any of them imbued with magic? And specifically, I am looking for old magic.
Old magic. Okay. Here's what I'll do. Go ahead and make an Arcana check with advantage, because that's the only type of magic that you're really. You're proficient in other
Attuned
magics,
to.
obviously, but you have a specific acclamation to ancient deities and their magics.
Topher starts just randomly walking around and walking into walls because he's timed out.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
You got nat 20. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Okay. So you are looking around at these scrolls, and you kind of you get a sense that there is 2 or 3 things that are just like pretty powerfully calling at you. I don't know whether this is like a sight thing for you. How would Hamilton, I'm gonna let you handle this. How would Hamilton know what is just calling to him, and how does he know that it's magic?
I feel like it would just be one of those things where, like if you've ever had that like weird feeling that like someone's watching you, you know, and you get like, or like you get drawn to like one specific thing, like when you're in a room, if you've ever like, you know, you just get a weird feeling about something.
So it's more instinctual than it is physical?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a few scrolls in a stack off to the right side of these groups of tables, and you just feel very drawn to these as you feel that these have some extreme magical properties to them, some ancient powers just emanating from these scrolls. So you see this stack of papers. What do you do?
I want to go over to them. I'm assuming that they're probably going to be dragonborn, so I'm not going to be able to read them.
Yeah. So are you like leaning over in this knapsack, like trying to get over to them, like lean this way?
Yeah. So I'll just get down then, because he probably would make me get down. Actually, that seems more like what he would do.
Okay. So you just climb out of the bag and scurry your way down Christopher's old, fragile, frail body, and
I want to like get myself up to where like my legs are kind of like up out of the bag, and I'm just sort of hanging on to Topher, and then
I'm
just
gonna
like
make you do a check, right?
flip out of it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's hope it's a good one, because you're up high on a little balcony here. So,
Well, I'm not flipping over the railing. Like,
maybe depending on what you roll.
I just want to roll out onto the floor
Okay.
like a toddler.
So, I thought you meant like you wanted to like flip off of his chest, like.
No, I
try to
just
do
want to
some
like roll
aerobatic
out
shit.
like and do a front roll. Like,
Okay, I got you.
and then
Yeah,
land on
okay,
my
that's
feet.
fine. You just kind of like scurry up to the end and just do like a military roll, like out of it onto the floor.
Yeah, like a baby
Okay.
whenever it first learns how to somersault.
I don't think you've what?
You know, when they start doing gymnastics around like 12 months.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you ninja roll out of this knapsack
Like an
type
infant.
thing, like an infant. Yep.
Yeah.
In a very infantile mental state.
Knees tucked in by your
While
ears.
he's doing that, I actually raise my arm above my head because he is still on a baby leash tied around my wrist.
All right, there is now a dead Hamilton hanging.
Hamilton gets a
right.
boner.
The baby leash is actually not tied to your neck or your wrist.
Oh,
it's
God,
tied
no.
to your fucking testicles.
So, wait, his own leash is tied to his testicles?
Well, he's on a leash, like I'm holding the
Oh,
other end.
okay. I thought
Yeah.
you meant like it was around his neck and then it was around his testicles too. Like you could carry him like a purse.
No, that's like one of those gold chains people have from their nose to their ears. He's got one from his nose to his fucking testicles.
Interesting. That's canon lore now. Okay, so
Matches
I
my
don't really
cloak.
give a shit how this happens. You're just out of this knapsack and you go over to the table with these scrolls.
Yes.
You go ahead and make, I don't know whether to make this a, let's see here. Let's make this a history check again.
So while he's doing that,
Actually, I'm sorry, just a straight up intelligence check.
While he's making that roll, as soon as he jumps out, I catch a whiff of something, and I'm like,
Centrum Silver.
Hamilton, Hamilton, did you shit in my book bag? Smells like old fish and ass.
Hamilton says nothing.
Not the guilty
So this
party.
is a saving throw for me, an intelligence saving throw.
Nope, just an intelligence check.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be a 21.
So,
Skull splitter dice.
thank you, Skull Splitter. Get yourself a set. Go to 13palmtrees.com/DND kinda and click on the affiliate link. Get yourself a set today.
Give us money.
#rad. All right, so
Product placement.
you look over on the table. There's a set of
There's
Skull
a set
Splitter
of skull
dice.
splitter dice right there.
You don't take them because they roll crit fails a lot. So you grab these scrolls and you pick them up and you start to look over them. And as you start to read the one on the top, there are instructions on how to, very, very detailed. You can tell this is a very deep magic, dark magic, on how to imbue other magical properties into something that's already living. Specifically, elements of living magical creatures into other living magical creatures. Magical traits from other living things into others.
So the ultimate dragonborn. What else is in there?
As you are looking through this, it's very similar. All these scrolls are very, very
they're
similar.
all kind of
But they
have to
go
do
over
with that.
different elements of other creatures. So
So it definitely seems ultimate dragonborny. So I want to yell back down the hallway.
it's not a hallway. You're actually like overlooking.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
on
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
wall of this giant cavern, and you're overlooking Bartholonude and Vyswine, and Benedict. You didn't go up there, did you, Benedict?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay,
Yeah, he came up here.
Bartholonude and Vyswine are standing down below this like overhang. They didn't want to climb up there due to the
Right.
fact that it didn't seem very
Right. So I want to turn around and I want to hand these scrolls to my broski and be like, brother, will you take these scrolls down to our dragonborn friends?
Yeah, I guess I'll do that. That sounds great.
Josh, I told you today how much I love you.
Yes.
I do want to look for like lock boxes up here, desk drawers, anything that could be hiding anything of value.
So you just want to make a general perception check on the area?
I kind of want to steal anything up here that's good.
Okay.
Well, I guess maybe steal it, but we don't really know that anybody's been up here, so
Well, and that's
might
fine.
be
I just want
taking it.
Go ahead and make I need you to look around to see if there's anything worth stealing.
Yeah.
So make a perception check.
Would it really be stealing if nobody's here? Would he have to? I mean,
Well, it obviously doesn't belong to him, so it's
fucking
stealing.
dicks. So that's a 17.
Hamilton,
Yes.
you find
Yes.
a scroll that just feels like it's just calling your fucking name. And you pick it up and you unroll it, and at the top there are instructions on how anybody, regardless of their respective abilities, and in layman's real tongue that means level, can use this 9th level transmutation spell. It is called True Polymorph.
big true.
This allows you to choose one creature or non-magical object that you can see within range. You can transform that creature into a different creature, the creature into an object, or an object into a creature. The object must neither be worn nor carried by another creature. The transformation lasts for the duration, which is 1 hour, or concentration, which means it'll break if you cast another spell, or until the target drops to 0 hit points and dies. If you concentrate on this spell for the full duration, the transformation becomes permanent.
So it's a level 9, but how do I cast it? Does it cast as like a...
It's going to be DM's call, but my call is just going to be you can use it once per long rest.
Once per long rest?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I'm probably going to use
use that?
Because as you know, as a 9th level spell at level 4, which usually you probably wouldn't get 9th level spells until like level 15 or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
You wouldn't. This pretty much takes up all your magic.
So what I want to do is I want to turn an object into a demonic imp. And then I want to try to hold that concentration for an hour and make it my permanent companion that fights for me.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
You can turn an object
fucking
into any
amazing.
kind of creature as long as the creature's size is no larger than the object size.
Yeah, it's not going to be very big. It's going to be a little teeny tiny imp, and he's going to shoot fireballs out of his hands.
Okay, so a demon imp.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Demonic
get to
imp.
determine that. It's got to be something that resides within the D&D lore. So let me see D&D demon.
You just wanted something really small to crawl up your ass
So
while
you
you're asleep
can-
at night.
You can transform something into an imp if you'd like. However, go back and find this. The creature is friendly to you and your companions. It acts on each of your turns, and you decide what actions it takes and how it moves. The DM has the creature stats, which I do, and resolves all of its moves and actions. If the spell becomes permanent, you no longer control the creature. It might remain friendly to you depending on how you've treated it. You can't affect a target.
It's gonna be like Bubba.
This is the kicker, so this is going to be what's difficult for you.
Okay.
You cannot affect a target that has 0 hit points. So in order for you to transform an object into something, it has to have hit points.
Fuck it. I'm just going to
Creature's
try
challenge
to...
rating has to be lower than 9.
I'm just going to try to do this. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's whatever. So I have these, the stack of scrolls that I handed. Oh, excuse me. Oh, God, it's still coming. I had the stack of scrolls that I handed to Benedict, and he took them downstairs. Oh, God. And I could tell that they were, like, way more imbued with magic than all of the other ones. Like a darker, deeper, stronger magic than all of the other ones. So I want to gather up all the scrolls and the texts that are left in the room and just push them into a pile in the middle of the room and then polymorph all of them into an imp. Because in my mind, in Hamilton's mind, they're magical scrolls already. I could sense that to some degree. Not as strong as the others. But maybe. Obviously, I don't know shit about polymorphing because I literally just picked the scroll up.
Okay.
But I want to give it a go.
Here's how this is going to work. The spell doesn't have a lot of information to go off of. So here's how we're going to do this. Paper, as I would imagine, would have a hit point of 1. So I will let you try this.
Sweet.
But it is going to be a straight up and down check, and you will roll a d20. There will be no additions.
That's fair.
On a 1 to 10, this will fail. On a 10 or 11 to 20, this will succeed.
If he crit fails, can you just do like
Crit fail.
Okay. I was gonna say if you
turns himself
if you could
into-
count up all of the scrolls, and he has to endure that many paper cuts in between the webbing of his fingers.
That's rude and mean and sad and hurtful.
In real life, then you can do something to Hamilton.
So that,
Okay.
that didn't work.
Definitely not. I don't even think you even got to try. You fell over on your face. And
Fell off the railing. Everybody
No,
else
I
is
think with
standing on
the-
the first floor, and they're just like, "Huh, look at these scrolls," and then you just hear like, and just slams into the ground.
I think with a crit fail on something like that, it'd be something like weird Rick and Morty shit where he like polymorphs it trying to get it into this little imp, but it ends up turning into like an
What was that
aborted.
episode called?
like
it's like his
in a-
cousin, and it's like, why am I alive? And he's like dying slowly in a puddle on the ground.
Yep.
What was that
Oh,
episode?
God.
I don't remember.
I can't remember what they were called.
I forget too, but yeah, that's where my mind went
Yeah.
immediately to that. So
Yeah, so that didn't work. So I just kind of,
Totally, that was on purpose.
just go downstairs and not say anything about it to anyone.
I'm going to switch the perspective back to Bartholonude and Vyswine. So you guys are standing down there, and I'm going to leave this actually up to Josh. you were, or Benedict, I should say. Benedict, you were carrying these scrolls down to Vyswine and Bartholonude. Mm-hmm. Did you complete that task?
I would like to think that I did, yes.
Okay. So you brought these scrolls down to Bartholonude and Vyswine, and Bartholonude, he hands you these scrolls. What do you do?
I would like to think I look at them.
Here, take a look at these, bud.
Bartholonude, you would like to think that you look over these scrolls.
I would like to think
Words.
I'm using that
Things,
all
palm
the time.
trees. No, these are Dragonborn text. You can read these. And you looked over these and you had seen things about these were spells specifically designed to rip the elemental properties and powers of organic creatures and imbue other creatures with them. So being as you know that the Golden Clan Elder had been here and you know he experiments on dragons, you get a pretty good idea.
And as I've come to that realization, I quickly look over at Vyswine and I show him the scroll and let him see for himself. Let him come to his own conclusion about what I've just bore witness to.
So Vyswine's eyes are just swimming back and forth
Swimming.
as he is looking over these scrolls. And he's kind of surprisingly enough to, well, I mean, let me ask you, he looks, as he's reading these, he's confused. As he is not entirely, it looks like he doesn't know exactly what to think about it. Does that surprise you, or would you not think that he would know what exactly is going on?
Vyswine, please tell me you know what this means.
He kind of looks back and forth over top of these scrolls, and he's very confused. And he looks up and says, "What? Why would the clan elder need this? He's been experimenting on dragons and other forms of life for years."
As he says this, I come to attention and I kick him directly in the chest. And I want to knock him back to be on his back. Does he get knocked on his back?
Make a strength check. I'm not going to say make an attack roll because it doesn't seem like you're trying to do damage to him. But you're just... I'm going to just contest it. So... that's probably not going to fly. I rolled an 8. So if you rolled higher than an 8, you
way higher than an 8.
Okay. So you kick him like square in the chest and he wasn't expecting it. So he kind of like just falls backwards a few feet and lands on his back.
As he's falling backward, I grab my halberd and I jump over on top of him, and with the blade held up near the edge of the front of the halberd, I hold it to his neck with my foot on his chest and I say, "Tell me, what do you remember? Do you remember telling me about the Golden Clan Elder?"
Yes, but I don't know why he would need these scrolls to do this. Why would he need these scrolls? He's been experimenting on life forms for years. Why would he need magics for what he's trying to accomplish? I've seen him do things above and beyond this for many years. Why would he need this? Why are you doing this? You know the Golden Clan Elder is no friend of mine. He's experimented on me as he has you. As he like shoves your halberd out of his face.
I remove my halberd and kind of stand back. I say, "You must forgive me. You have misleaded us recently. I must assume that you know more than you are leading to believe. And by being surprised of this avenue of his research is unnerving, to say the least."
I know nothing of this magic. I know he is capable of things greater than this without needing any type of magics involved.
Do you possibly think this could amplify the current level of technology that he has been able to develop to kind of facilitate this research? Do you believe this could be used in any capacity to amplify those results?
I have been under his spell for longer than I know, apparently.
That is concerning.
Bartholonude, you must trust me when I say I know nothing of what comes next. I'm here to fight with you. I'm here to fight by your side. For I struggle to. I have bits and pieces of my former. It is years, possibly, since I had control of my own body. And when I awake, it's you and your companions, and I know that I was forced to come here from the elder himself, but what I know not of what this is. I am sorry. I cannot help you beyond this point.
I do not have question of your allegiance. I do not have question of your devotion toward a just cause. You are easily manipulated, and it is concerning. It's impossible to tell when you are you and when you are not. So I need you to understand why we are taking the necessary precautions to make sure that, you are you. I hope you can understand that concern.
Ability to be manipulated. I was put under a spell. What makes me any more culpable than any of you?
Well, it is not a question of whether or not we could be manipulated. It's more of the fact that you have been. You have come to a loss of memory and a sense of unknowing things that should be easily known to you. So,
I'm sorry, have you been put under a spell from the Dragon Elder for a time unknown?
I have not.
Exactly.
And the
What
unknowing
right
part.
do you have
You're
to
a bitch.
put this on me? And he is like standing up and like puffing out his chest, like he is tired of being walked on for something that wasn't his fault, and he is ready to throw down if he has to.
And I'm kind of at a point to where once I, kicked him on his back and kind of held him to the end of my blade, and he kind of gave a reason for what has happened, I had not only taken a few steps back, but also turned my back to him. And looking up in the hollow cave as our voices and our shouts echo and reverberate around the area, I say, I understand your disposition. Anyone out there that would understand the most would be me. If we are truly on the same sides, we cannot be divided. We must stand together to make the Golden Clan Elder pay for not only our suffering, but for whatever evil is conjuring by the resurrection of the Lord of Death.
And Vyswine relaxes and lowers his stance and draws his hand away from his weapon as he was about to pull it.
And then as kind of I feel the tension behind me lowering, I turn around and I square up with him and I say, look him straight in the eyes. And I say, Vyswine, I consider you a brother. We have been through so much, not together, but separate. We cannot allow ourselves to not grow separately without growing apart. We must unite to bring an end to this curse, this wretched behavior, as the Golden Clan Elder needs to suffer.
Can I turn into the boa constrictor and like wrap myself around him and just stay like that? And he has to walk with me so he doesn't make any sudden moves or anything?
Who?
Vyswine.
If you want to, yeah.
I do
Well,
want
you
to.
can go ahead and turn into the boa constrictor, but you're gonna need to. Vyswine's not gonna be down with that, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That is going to contest Vyswine's strength because he's going to be able to feel you coming up on him since you'd have to wrap him up.
Good.
Wrap him up inside.
Wrap
All
me
right.
up inside.
So, Vyswine, you start to wrap your boa constrictor body around him, and he immediately starts to try to get away from this. And he throws because he rolled a 22.
Weird.
He throws your constrictor body on the ground and he draws his weapon on you.
Oh yeah, we about to do that?
If that's how you would like this to go down, that is exactly what will happen. So,
We're about to kill Vyswine.
I tap Hamilton on the shoulder and motion him to come sit next to me. And I pull out a tub of popcorn. And we sit there and share a tub of popcorn at the top of these stairs.
Do you have a tub of popcorn in your
No,
inventory?
I'm not going to start anything. I'm just going to look at him and be like, I still don't trust you, big green dick.
Well, I feel
You're a
like,
snake
your
now?
snake voice would sound different.
I still don't trust you, you big green dick.
all right. So, I want to go back up to Hamilton and Topher at the top of this little thing that they're standing on.
I'm going to walk down the stairs and I'm going to use my thaumaturgy to alter my voice and make it boom 3 times as loud as normal. And I'm going to tell everybody to calm down and we need to sit and rethink this situation.
Okay, so is there any doors or anything leading anywhere else?
So, from your perspective, there is nothing. But you were on the ground floor, so maybe you want to go upstairs and check.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go upstairs and check.
Watch out for the cracked stair.
You're
Now
a snake. You could just
now-
slither right up there.
I want to change into a swarm of flies.
He did say he could do that. It's a swarm of insects.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of picturing this as like you were a snake and you just like transform into all these bugs
Yeah.
and just like just like transmute up to the top of these stairs.
Yeah.
So there's a simple looking locked door along the side of the rock wall. And there is a small pedestal next to it with a key sitting.
All right, well, since I'm a bunch of flies, I'm just going to fly through the keyhole.
I'm a bunch of flies.
One by one.
So you fly through this keyhole, and it is incredibly dark on the other side.
Okay, dark. I have dark vision. What's up?
So as you fly into this, the other side of this door, you are in a hallway that slants downwards further deeper into the base of this mountain. And there is, since as it goes with dark vision, everything is kind of grayed out whenever you are in dark vision.
Yeah.
You just kind of see like you can barely see anything. It's just like a dark outline of everything.
All right.
But it goes straight down and there is a pattern. You can't really tell what it is. There's a pattern in the wall. But it just goes straight down and there is a dim light probably 200 feet down this hallway.
Oh, shit.
It's a big ass hallway.
Yeah,
Okay.
this leads.
I'm glad you didn't turn yourself into a moth. That's the end of Benedict.
Fuck.
Sorry, I had to make a joke there.
All right, well, I want to fly back through the keyhole and tell all my homies, like, what I see down there through that door.
Okay.
And that there was definitely a key.
During the time that Benedict had turned himself into a fly, flown down the hallway,
Flies.
Yeah,
or
lots of flies, yeah.
and done all of that, I had cried
Cried
a
deeply.
lot,
Say
and
that.
had my back to everybody else. And then I once I got composed myself, I turned around and walked back up the stairs.
We're cool. We're
But I took one big hop over that stair that I fell through earlier.
Okay. So everyone's at the top of the stairs now? Has everyone traversed the stairs?
Nice.
Okay. So, Benedict, you have made your way back through the keyhole and have turned back into a dwarf? Am I understanding that correctly?
No.
Okay, you're still a group of flies.
Yeah, I'm still flies.
So what does a group of flies sound like when they're trying to tell what?
I did. I was just. I did say that. Hey guys, I got some shit here. I saw some shit in this fucking door over here. You should come look. Come check it out. There's a key. Get the key. I morph back into the dwarf. Get the fuck up here.
So,
God.
Benedict, you turned back into a dwarf and told us to do what?
Get the key and unlock the fucking door. There's something down there.
So I'm going to walk up to the door and try to open it. Just to make sure it's locked.
He said there was a key, right?
Well, yeah, but it might not be locked.
He said it was a locked door.
Just because there's a key doesn't mean the door's locked.
You said it was a locked door.
You did say it was a locked door.
From your perspective.
No, you actually said that.
Yeah, the door is definitely locked. I did say that. You're right. Yeah, the door was locked. But there is a key. So
Do we have the key?
the key was sitting on a pedestal beside the door.
Oh, yeah.
So, what up?
I said grab the key.
Grab
and
the
open
key.
door.
Open the do
you
know
could
the
just
way.
Take the key and open the door.
No,
I
you
don't want
know
to.
the way.
He wants to traverse to the key.
I want to watch somebody else do it.
All right, so Hamilton's going to go take the key, and he's going to bag tag Benedict, and then he's going to open up the door.
It's perfect.
Okay, so you pick up the key, and you go to the keyhole as you bag tag your brother,
This hurts me.
and you put the key into the keyhole. And as the key touches the keyhole, it crumbles to dust.
I want to Eldritch Blast the
key,
door.
The keyhole or the key?
The key crumbles to dust.
Yeah, I want to Eldritch Blast the door.
Just not having this, are you?
Nope. Done with it.
All right. So,
Now, mind you that my Eldritch Blast has perks on it of...
now it does.
Well, no, it always has, and I don't know where they are, so... Oh, yeah, Agonizing and Repelling. So, my Eldritch Blast does a repelling blast, so anything that I hit with it knocks it back with a force that would move it 10 feet.
Okay. How does that work if like it's an object that's like set in place?
I don't know.
That'll be DM's call, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
So if it's a door but it's locked.
Because I can't move like units that are up against a wall. But if there's free space for them to move, it will knock them back 10 feet.
So let's go ahead and make an attack roll and then Eldritch Blast the door, and we'll see, depending on what your attack roll is, how good it is. We'll see how this plays out.
11 and then 16.
Okay, so you pull your quarterstaff as you're incredibly frustrated at this key just disintegrated, and it wasn't like it disintegrated and you're like, all right, let's pull my staff. It was like immediately after,
Yes.
like you just were so pissed off. You Eldritch Blast the door, and as you do this, a large fractured piece of the door just comes flinging off as it like looks like the door's about to collapse, but it stays put where it is as a piece of the door comes apart.
So I've damaged it. Can I slide through that piece?
No, it's not like a hole was created. It's just like a splinter of wood.
Yeah, the
fell off the
integrity of the door is compromised.
Slightly.
Can I Sparta kick it?
I mean, you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah, I want to Sparta kick it.
Okay.
The 5.
All right, you Sparta kick the door.
It hurts.
And you just kind of lay your foot on the door and be like, ugh.
So this is a wooden door?
This is a hard, solid wooden door
That's fine.
Did we determine
that
that
you
it
can
was,
tell is imbued with some type of magic.
Damn it.
Okay, so we determined that it was locked, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I will say this. As Jed made a pretty good roll earlier whenever he looked around for items he could steal or find, or in this immediate area, him not seeing the door. There were no drawers or locked items or anything like this. Anything of the sort laying or
Nothing hidden.
right that you could immediately tell.
Right.
However, there is a. You did notice that the boards on the floors, they are double layered as to add integrity, and it seems kind of strange as this.
Yeah, they should have done it to the stairs.
Yeah,
Would
right.
have fallen off of them.
As this thing is kind of makeshift, but it seems kind of strange as the rest of this construct is not very integrally sound.
So Hamilton's the one who knows that, not the rest of us.
Right. Because he saw that whenever he was looking earlier, when he was looking for stuff to.
So before I convey this information, I know that you said that the door was obviously imbued with some type of magic. Is it resistant to fire?
I don't know if there'd be any way for you to know that. Actually, go ahead and make an Arcana check, because it's powerful enough magic to you to tell what type of, or that it is have magic on it without having to make an Arcana check. But if you can do a good enough Arcana roll,
It's 14.
okay. So, you can tell that this door it's not necessarily that the door is imbued with magic. It's the fact that this lock is imbued with magic.
So I have
And
a
the lock is
cantrip.
metal.
So I have a cantrip. It's create bonfire. And I can create a bonfire on anything that I can see within range. Fills a 5-foot cube. So Hamilton is just going to warn everyone, stay away from the door. And then cast create bonfire on the door.
On the door, or like
Yeah.
at the base of the door?
On the space that the door occupies, basically.
So like at the base of the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna tell everybody. Also, the floor is double layered. So if this doesn't work, there's probably a key under there somewhere.
Okay, so a fire erupts beneath this door, and you immediately realize that as the door is slowly becoming hotter and hotter, the floor itself is starting to burn.
Hamilton cancels create bonfire
Bonfire.
and turns his back to all of his companions and kind of mutters under his breath, "My magic isn't powerful enough to do that. I don't think."
I'm sorry, could you repeat that a little
I
louder?
said, it's not going to work. We got to find the key. Somebody should pull up some floorboards.
I have a crowbar.
I have
Sounds like
daggers.
a good use of the crowbar.
Yeah, so can I crowbar the shit out of that?
Okay, so Benedict brandishes a crowbar.
Brandish sound.
You ever held a crowbar before?
Well, okay, so before you just start going to town on this floor. Is there anything that draws you to a particular area? Like why? Like he just said the floor is.
Wait. So, the lock is magic. So I want to, without saying a word to anybody, I want to run into the middle of the floor and just throw myself face down on the ground and spread out as big as I can get, which is not very big, but spread out starfish style as big as I can get, and try to sense for anything magic under the floor.
I love this so much. I'm gonna give you advantage on an Arcana check. Like you just like. They're just like looking around. He pulls out a crowbar and you just like spread your legs and arms out and just jump face first on the ground.
That's gonna be a 17.
Okay. So, by the stairs where you come up onto this area, right where the flat part starts of this flat floor area, you can feel something magical under the floor, under the floorboards. So,
Okay, so
I'm gonna give you that. That was good.
But so I want to get up off the floor and very confidently, I want to tidy up my beard and straighten out my robe
Wait,
and
you have a
my
beard?
cloak. Yeah, Hamilton has a huge beard and a big handlebar mustache.
Epic.
I literally thought that you were just like looked like a prepubescent fucking like 4-year-old.
Don't
No,
let his
no.
real looks fool you.
No, don't go off of my real facial hair.
You're right, Michael. I'm sorry.
No, Hamilton has a massive beard and a big handlebar mustache. But no, so Hamilton gets up, tidies up his beard, straightens out his cloak and his robes, straightens up the bicep and the tiny penis and everything. And he struts over Conor McGregor style to this area over by the edge of the stairs.
And retires.
And he pulls out his sickle and slams it down into the floorboard and turns around and looks at his companions and says, "Right here is the key.
All right.
Now, can somebody maybe pry this up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So pry that shit up, Benedict. Okay, I'm not gonna make you do a strength check on this.
That's good.
It's good that you didn't."
Because you have a crowbar. That's the point of it.
Yeah.
So you pry up this box, and when you pry open the floorboards, and inside of it there is a little box. And Benedict or Hamilton, which one of you grabbed this box?
Is it just like a
It's just a
normal ass
little-
looking box?
Yeah, a little tiny.
It's not locked or anything?
Nah, just a little box.
I don't know. I guess I'd reach down and probably grab it. I'm trying to get
shove
the
him out of
glory.
the way. And
Yeah.
Typical Hamilton. So you grab the box and you open it, and inside there is a little jelly cube, and it says, "Oh, hi, Hamilton. How are you?" I'm just kidding. It's a key. It's a key.
So it's a key.
It's a key. Yeah.
Cool. So Topher, are you standing by the door?
Yes.
Okay, so I turn around and just chuck the key to Topher.
Without him even knowing it, it's like, "Oh God!" and he's like fumbling to catch it.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to tell him about it. I'm just going to throw it at him. Great.
Christopher,
Yes.
what do you like? Actively try to catch it? Or
what is this?
Well,
what's a key?
so you don't say anything whenever you throw it. You just like fucking straight.
I mean, I imagine that you're probably watching.
I was investigating the door to see if there's anything about the door, if any way we can get this door down, just in case we can't find a way in.
Okay, no, that's fine. So you're standing there, and Hamilton, you throw this key at Topher, and it just kind of hits him in the back and falls on the floor. Topher, do you even pay attention to what's going on, or?
Yeah,
You
I
turn
turn
around
I
and-
turn around. What was that? Something just hit me.
Yeah, I threw a key at you.
What? Oh, okay. So I bend down and pick it up.
Do you use the key on the door?
I don't use it on the door. I use it on the lock on the door.
Looks like you're taking some damage. No, so you put the key in the keyhole, and it does not disintegrate this time. It turns, and the door unlocks, and the door swings open inward.
Okay, so inward, and whenever the door, I feel the click of it unlock, and I turn the handle, and I pull it because I'm a fucking idiot, and it doesn't move. So I push it, and as I notice it's pushing, and that's the way that it opens, I push the door open, and I step to the side and put my back against the wall next to the door, just in case there's something on the other side.
Okay. So as you do this, there is nothing that happens. There's no traps or anything that trigger, or there's no arrows that fly through the door, Dark Souls style. There's nothing crazy.
Okay, so since nothing happened, I'm going to go ahead and Topher's going to go ahead and head down this hallway because Benedict had told us there was a light down here, so I'm just going to fucking hoof it.
So in what order do you guys head down this hallway?
Oh, I'm going down first since I opened the door.
So Topher.
Yeah, Topher.
Okay, so who's going next?
I'll go
I need to know
next.
the order you guys are going through this door.
I'll go next.
It is important.
I'll go next.
Topher.
Okay, so Topher and then Benedict. Vyswine
probably-
just runs through because he's
By the time that these guys figure out what's going on, I'm probably
going
already
last.
down at the light.
All right, so I'll go behind Vyswine then.
okay, and then Bartholonude goes last. Okay,
Okay, so okay. Before we go into this, I do have torches. Whenever I start heading down this, because I know it's, I see the light clear at the end of this, but I'm going to light a torch as I'm going down this hallway, so we've got light up front.
okay. So you light a torch and it illuminates the hallway. Now, like I said, it's probably about 200-300 feet. You guys can't really tell the distance, but it's a long way. But you can see a shimmer of light at the end, and it is not just a straight hallway. It actually kind of descends deeper, so it's like a downward slope.
And Topher's up front, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And he has the torch.
Yep.
I see him light the torch, and it makes me think of something I've been thinking about. So I call out to Topher. Topher, can you come here for a moment?
So does the whole party stop, or does everyone you just kind of fall back and everyone keeps moving, or?
I have to shout over everybody, so everybody just heard me say that.
Yeah, so I'm going to stop.
Okay. So the party stops and Topher.
Yeah, I go back to him, but on my way back, I'm going to smack Hamilton on the back of the head and cast light on him.
Yes.
Is he pink again?
No, he's going to be more like a navy blue, like a deep light. Yeah.
He's a black light. There's just jizz stains all over the walls.
There's just jizz stains all over Hamilton's face.
All in his beard.
Hamilton, you need to wash your face every once in a while. There, child.
All right, for real. Everyone stopped. Bartholonude and Hamilton. Bartholonude and Topher. What's up?
Please hold out your torch.
Hamilton steps forward.
I hold my torch out.
And I take my water skin that has some of the water from the river, and I just want to take one drop of that water and drop it onto the torch.
Interesting.
Ooh, yes.
All right. So when you do this,
I like that.
the drop of water hits the torch and just kind of dissipates. There's really no effect immediately. But then you notice that the fire on the torch turns pure red. Like, not orange and yellow and flickering, it's just pure blood red. And it illuminates even more than it was before. And it's hotter than it was before. And honestly, Topher, you can barely stand to be holding this torch at this point because it's just so hot. You have to like wrap your hands up in some cloth to be able to stand to hold this thing. That is just so fiercely hot.
An interesting reaction. Let us resume.
So you all start to
Traverse the hallway.
head down the hallway. And as you do, you guys are all moving towards, and Bartholonude, your eyes are fixated at the end of the hallways. You guys probably moved about 50 to 100 feet down this hallway at this point.
And have it be known that ever since our argument with Vyswine, generally I've just been really tense, like at a moment's notice to be ready just to take down anything. I actually still have my halberd held in my hand kind of as I'm walking, still ready just for him to kind of do another thing unexpected.
Okay. So you're armed and ready. So that being said, you're obviously you're being extremely observant as to what's going on around you. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. 19. All right. So as you're walking down the hallway that is illuminated with a deep blue and red glow from the torch and from Hamilton combined, creating this purplish light, you notice that there is a spiraling golden pattern to the wall. It's normal rock pattern in gold like we described earlier, but this is like almost a perfect spiral down this hallway you guys are walking down. So as you guys are moving down the hallway, you are watching this pattern, and in the light at the end of the hallway, you see someone move in front of the hallway exit, and you almost seem to recognize someone. It's very familiar to you.
I believe I saw something as a silhouette in the light down the hallway. I believe she just passed me by.
She?
Okay, so he just says that to us. Who's directly behind me? Who's closest to me?
I think we described you were...
Vyswine.
Yeah. Vyswine.
Yeah.
Vyswine?
This
Yep,
point.
he
Okay.
walked right behind you.
So I'm going to turn around to Vyswine, and I'm going to put my hands in between his legs, and I'm going to awkward salmon him. And whenever I do, I'm going to cast guidance on him. And then I turn around, and I take my quarterstaff off my back, and I run down the hallway.
Everybody, hold up a bit. I saw something in the shadows, and I want to see if I can draw it out to see if we can get a better look at it.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'll do it. I'll slow down.
Hamilton very reluctantly comes to a stop.
I disengage light from Hamilton, and I'm going to cast a thaumaturgy. So what I'm going to do, past where we saw this form, whatever it was that we saw, I want to cause like rustling and just noises there to basically raise suspicion if there's anybody physically in that area, to keep their focus away from the hallway that we're coming down.
I cast Thunderous Smite on my halberd.
So you cast this noise. What's this noise sound like?
Like the sounds of like running, and I want to make it to where it sounds like it's coming from a different area towards that, and not from the region that we're coming from.
Okay, so you cast thaumaturgy at the end of the hallway, and it hits the ground, and you hear it from a distance, as you guys are probably less than 100 feet from this area at this point. Mm-hmm. And you wait to see if you see anything, and a couple moments pass, and then someone steps back in front of this hallway and is standing at the end, looking up at all of you as they see the light, and they're just standing at the end of this hallway watching you as you guys are all walking down the hallway.
And I cast command on the figure.
Okay, so you cast command, and as you do this, whoever is at the end of the hallway puts up their hand, and you feel nothing. There is nothing. Whatever you just did to them, it just stopped in the palm of their hand. Okay. And they lower their hand.
I can feel like the power, the resistance from this person, this creature, whatever it is. And I'm not going to give up. Like, I will go to my fucking grave trying to protect this party.
As he's doing this, Hamilton would just like to run past him full speed down the hallway.
Okay, whenever he runs past me, I'm going to smack him and cast light on him again.
So you're breaking concentration on your command?
So I can only do this 3 times because I've only got 3 more spell slots. So I cast command 3 times and trying to get this creature to submit. After the 3rd one is whenever Hamilton runs past me.
Okay.
I cast blindness and deafness on the creature at the end of the hallway.
So as you do this, you immediately realize that your spells, all of them, have no effect on this creature. What I can tell you also is that your spells, as they are not landing on this creature, they're not, I don't know how to narratively explain it, but they're not burning your spell slots. You have not used your spell slots for your commands. It's almost like you've tried and they were repelled back to you and your magic was returned to you.
So everything that I've casted has done this.
Yes. So as you guys move closer, we'll play this out.
Yeah, so I'm running full speed, right?
Yeah, you are probably a good 40 feet ahead of your companions and are approaching this figure drastically.
Now, obviously I would have some sense of the fact that Topher has attempted to cast spells on this guy.
I would say you'd have the ability to know that he cast them, but not of what the outcome of them was.
Well, I can see that they've done nothing. I mean, this dude is this thing, whatever it is standing at the end of the hallway with its hand outstretched, and it is not affected by anything that's happening.
Right, but you wouldn't be able to know that Hamilton did more than cast one spell. Or, I'm sorry, Topher did more to cast one spell.
At this point, Hamilton is more interested than he is anything. He's more intrigued. So he actually sheaths his quarterstaff and continues his run.
And as all this is happening, I cast Divine Sense on the figure.
Okay.
Oh shit.
All right.
Was a bear one of the things that I could turn
This
into?
is what. Yes, it was.
I'm gonna turn into a bear then.
Oh fuck
This is
yeah.
getting wild.
Can
Wild
I?
shape. See what I did there?
Are you next to me?
Me?
Are you like close to me?
You're next to me.
I stopped when you told us to stop, but I don't know how close.
Did you keep moving like after? Like whenever Hamilton started running down the hallway, did you start moving
Oh well, I turned into a bear first, and then
started moving?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Bear jet.
as Benedict scoots by me, I'm gonna reach out and grab the tuft of his neck, and I'm gonna jump up on top of him.
Oh man. All right, Bartholonude, as you cast Divine Sense, as it is not something that is so, I don't know, trying to affect anyone. It's more so for you to try to gauge something.
Yeah, it just detects good or evil.
So as you do this, the smell of evil fills your nose like a noxious odor. And as this happens, this creature, whoever it is, moves out of the doorway and out of sight.
Yeah, I'm still running.
Yeah, I would say, Hamilton, at this point, you have reached the doorway. Do you continue into the room?
Yeah, absolutely.
Benedict, you must move faster.
So I'd scoot down toward you guys, and I'd traverse toward the doorway with everyone else.
Okay, so Benedict's a bear, a orange and black striped bear. Topher is riding the Tony bear. Shout out to Tony. I don't know this Tony, but shout out to Tony.
Not
Tony.
Tiger, not Tony the Tiger, Tony the Toe Thumbs.
Yeah.
Tony the
That.
Toe
Tony the
Thumbs.
Toe Thumbs.
Tony the Toe Thumbs.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony the Toe Thumbs. I don't know you, but sounds like you like listening to the show. Fuck you.
So bless. I can bless up to 3 willing creatures.
Only if you say hashtag in front of it.
I'm gonna hashtag bless.
Such a white girl.
Since I've already smacked Hamilton, this is gonna essentially deactivate that bless. I'm gonna re-bless him. I'm gonna bless Benedict, and I'm gonna bless Bartholonude, but not Vyswine, because I'm still pissed at him for crossing the river and not telling us that he was able.
But he
to
has
do that.
guidance on him, so.
But he does have guidance on him.
He still has the guidance.
So the party, everybody but me is blessed or has guidance.
All right, so let's go in that room.
Yeah, let's do
are you
it.
guys all down
I
there?
mean, I'm probably already in the room.
Yeah, you're already in there, but
But they're all riding fucking bear down the hallway.
Yeah.
So
I'm riding Toe Thumbs down this hallway, and I'm going to cast my spiritual weapon while I am on top of Toe Thumbs. That way I'm ready for battle as soon as we round this corner, or as soon as we get into this room, or whatever this entryway that we're going into where this light is coming from opens up into.
hell yeah.
Fucking A.
okay. So there's just this floating sword.
Yeah, essentially it's just I've just got this like fucking spiritual weapon.
All right. So Hamilton, you walk into this room. Moments before the rest of the party enters behind.
Right.
And as you do this, this is a circular cavern. There's only one way in and one way out that you can see, and that is the way you came in. And suspended in the center of this room, there is a mirrored pillar. I shouldn't say a pillar, but a mirrored hole that light is shining down in. In the center of this, it's almost like a diamond-crested light that is a diamond-crested hole that goes up to the surface, or so you assume, because light is just shining so brightly down through this hole and just reflecting all the way down through. Hanging in the middle of this room, there is a golden dragon.
Hanging? Like by his neck?
Not the neck.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I was
Like
about to say.
by the waist, and their hands are bound behind their back. And they're kind of suspended in the middle of this pillar with this light like refracting all around them, making it extremely hard to see. But you can definitely tell it's a dragonborn. And then sitting on the floor beneath this suspended figure in this pillar of light that's just shining down on them is another golden dragon that with their back to you.
Like directly below the hanging golden dragon.
I would say in front of them, like closer to you, to where they could like look up and see what was going on, but they're just kind of sitting with their arms in front of them with their back to you.
Is there anything else in the room?
Yes. As you guys look around, I don't think this requires a perception check because it's generally just what's around. There are random tables and vials and cabinets and beakers and
how far is
tables
this?
And
so the dragon that's hanging, how far away is that from me?
I'd say about 30 feet in the air.
30 feet. Okay, so I'm gonna cast my spiritual weapon and cut him down.
Okay. So
and as soon as my spiritual weapon gets back to me, I'm going to cast it at the person that the dragon's sitting and hold it to his neck.
I'm going to move around to the right side of the room to kind of just...
And you still have your halberd drawn, right?
Yeah, halberd's drawn, and it has Thunderous Smite on it.
Okay.
I want to walk up to the Dragonborn sitting on the ground and just kind of like poke him on the shoulder and just be like, hey.
So we're going to play it like this. So, Christopher, your spectral weapon releases like immediately. And it has a 60-foot range, correct? So it goes up in the air and it slices this rope. And this Dragonborn falls and hits the ground and lands on its side, and it is unconscious, laying there with this light shining down on top of it so brightly that it's almost like surrounded and you can't really see this individual. This other Dragonborn individual is sitting on the ground, and as the sword, spectral weapon, comes up to the neck of this individual, Hamilton comes up behind it and taps it on the shoulder and says,
hey.
And it stands almost as if it's not entirely scared of what's happening, and it turns around, and all of you see this individual. And Bartholonude, you recognize this golden dragon. It is Ayesha.
D&D kinda sucks a bunch of dicks.com.
Mothballs and sadness.
This has been Topher. Signing off.
We have 2 open positions right now on D&D Content.
This campaign is coming to a close much sooner than we anticipated.
Oh no, but I can say with certainty that this wood and this rope doesn't really matter all that much to me.
So here's a thought.
I just want the
can't
rope
suggest it because I don't know what they have.
I just want the
chains
rope
and whips
because
excite me.
I just want the rope.
I was really hoping you were going to do that.
It actually got him. He's mad.
Daniel's so bad.
Continue, guys.
It's definitely not annoying or anything. That's for sure.
Let's make for a 3-hour editing session for Daniel to get through fucking 4 minutes of content. It's fucking great.
I don't know if do you think it's going to be different every time we record? Because it's always going to be like this.
I see that you are deep in thought, Benedict. Please make haste with your actions. Topher is very upset with us.
Grandpa's mad. He's going to start saying racist stuff again. He's going to start talking about the wars.
I don't fucking know. Somebody else tell me what I should do. That sounds like a popular
Whatever
thing to
happened
do.
to the pillowcase grabbing fool who decides to get out of shit with his creativity and boldness?
That wasn't
He's
me.
apparently dead.
It was a one
Definitely
shot.
wasn't me.
OneTrickPony.com.
Well, I'm pretty sure that creative fellow was filled to the gills with Jameson. So I think I found our missing link here.
Josh needs some alcohol.
Josh, we need to pour some whiskey in your butt. Get inverted.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all across the river. Fucking success.
Fuck yeah. God.
I feel like we really just beat the entire mission. Like, this campaign has been great.
Last
I
episode, we made
want to
it.
give a shout out to all of my supporters out there. Mom, you've been great.
Yeah, she has.
Okay, so I want to
Go on another Tammy Flesher tangent.
Oh, fuck.
Here it comes.
That's what she said.
Do you think I didn't hear that?
I think we've all felt it.
I'm scared.
Big nice. I reach over and pound him on the fist, but
All the
he's-
way up the stairs.
Your arm extends, Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, Daniel, finish that beer.
Oh, because he rolled a 13.
No, because I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, we
No,
did
that
make
was
that
on
a
13.
No, that was a rule a long time ago.
If you roll a nat 20, you can make
I
somebody
haven't
else
even
do
fucking
something.
opened it yet.
I know. So,
Well, I'm gonna fucking shotgun it then.
okay, that's fine.
I'll be back.
All right, pause. I'm going to go ahead and continue, actually.
Yeah, no.
Gets a
I'll let
tingle
you
in his pecker.
narratively explain this. Please don't make it something stupid like
Tingle right in
dick
his,
tingles.
right in his pecker. He farts when he's around magic.
But he's shotgunning a beer, so he can't talk. So he walks me over there real quick.
Goddamn cannon fucking squirted all over the place. I'm pouring it into a glass. Fucking stabbed it. It just like went everywhere. Like,
It's his first time shotgunning a beer. He's never done it before.
No, I used a knife. I normally use a key. I fucking used a knife, and the knife didn't like actually when I pushed it in, it didn't create like the whole thing. It just poked it. It was like,
Yeah, it sounds like my last girlfriend.
I was just about to say, Daniel hasn't penetrated anything
was
in a
that?
long time.
I'm not gonna
Who was
talk
your
about
last girlfriend?
it. No, it was a joke, man.
Why don't you just get the fuck out? Like,
I want him to carry me around.
yeah, but I need him. Maybe he's going to be like, fuck that. You can get out, and throws you on the floor. Or throws you over the side.
He probably actually would do that.
Oh, baby, I love you every day. Jed, would you mind grabbing me a I guess I'll take a beer.
Dad,
I want a
would
beer.
you mind
I'll take a day
grabbing-
blazer, too. That sounds really good.
What'd you say?
Come at me.
I don't know what you said. I'm coming at you with questions.
Did you just hit yourself in the mouth with your glass?
God, that hurt me, and I only heard it through
That's
the
what that sound
headphones.
was?
That's what that sound was.
Oh my
Are
god.
you okay?
yeah, I didn't chip my tooth, but that fucking hurt.
That was hard. What did you do?
I wanted to take a drink, and I fucking missed my goddamn mouth and hit my tooth.
Gentlemen,
I didn't miss my
Daniel
mouth,
was
but I-
old. I love this cup. This is the best.
It was my
thing that's ever
one real
happened to me.
tooth. The rest of them are fake.
It's hard to. I was just about to say it's hard to chip wood. You might dent it a little bit.
They actually make machines for that called wood chippers.
Fair.
I'm gonna put you in one.
Fucking please, feet first.
Wow, that would be miserable. I'd rather go head first.
I want it. Nothing is as miserable as being friends with Jed.
That is a true story.
I attest to that.
Hey, I got this flannel hat, guys. If you want to order one, just go to thiswebsite.com.
I was gonna make a website joke, but that one was way better. Go to this website.com.
Go to this website. God, fucking fuck.
Looking over them as well, and you ask him what he thinks about this and if he knows what it means, and he says,
Bitch, I can't read.
I have to pee really bad again. I'm sorry.
God, I do too.
All right,
Fidgeting.
let's
Can
just
we trust him?
pause and pee.
him?
Well, no. If go ahead with the
Okay.
go ahead with the dialogue, and then afterwards we can do that.
The new table will have milking filters. We can just plug our dick right into this little thing and just piss right here. It'll be great.
Yeah, great. It could just filter onto Josh's
Why?
lap. Like,
Why is it called a milking filter? I've got something. I was like, sweet. I can get a constant fucking blowjob while I'm like, sitting here. No, it's something to pee into.
milking filter?
Jesus.
We're never gonna be able to pee in them because they're constantly gonna be backed up with jizz all the time.
Milking filters are also sold on this website.com.
Miltingfilters.com.
Website.com. This voice is suspicious.
It's different every time.
Oh, I see. I get it. I understand it.
You get it.
Josh should get it too. He doesn't get it.
Josh gets the dick.
Scrolling.
Oh, shit.
There it is. There's the first one.
He just wishes he could be Destiny, playing Destiny.
Yeah.
He just wants
I
to
just
be playing
want to be
Destiny.
Destiny.
He just wants to be Destiny.
He just wants to transform into a really
Magic
shitty video
stripper.
game.
I want to be your child.
Shut the fuck up.
Hello, this is Destiny and Destiny's Child.
God, it literally took you saying that for me to catch that.
How did you not get that?
I just
oh my gosh.
fucking
It's the worst video games ever
just
and the
fucking
worst music group ever.
I don't know. If there was a video game revolved around Destiny's Child, I'd play that before I'd play Destiny.
True, me too.
That's why you've got a bad taste in your mouth?
I've got a bad taste in my mouth because I'm drinking fucking like 5-month-old Dayblazer.
This Dayblazer is a saint. How dare you?
How dare you? That's an 89 Dayblazer. Hamilton is fully erect.
I'm not done yet though. I have more to say.
Yes, you're concerned.
This is good. This is good dialogue though.
I think it's terrible.
To give a shit what you think.
Purely out of your manipulability to be completely
You're a goddamn wordsmith.
Jed's head when I said that word.
I tried to resist it.
His head bobbed like a confused elf.
Manipulability.
I'm saying it again too. I'm gonna try to keep a straight face.
Fuck yeah. Do it. Oh, fuck yeah. Do it.
Vyswine, my concern isn't of your allegiance or of your faith in the good of this campaign, but just address the entire campaign in character voice, no big deal.
Yeah, my concern of your faith to this revelation campaign we're currently running.
Yeah, we'll just roll with what we did before. That'll be great.
Okay.
I'm still pissed.
I'm still
that he didn't-
butthurt that he let us talk for like
Fucking
an
45
hour about
minutes.
how to cross the river, and he's like, "Hey guys, what are you guys doing?" Just
He's out
walking
there
across
swimming.
the fucking river.
He's doing fucking water.
You guys are dumb.
He's doing water aerobics
He's
and
doing
shit.
the breaststroke out there. Just like,
out here watching a piece of shit.
He doesn't like you guys either.
he's like, "Look at how fast I can spin, guys.
Definitely sounds like
That's
that.
great.
I'm getting dizzy."
I'm getting dizzy. I better go ahead and cross.
He hangs his head.
Daniel hangs himself.
in real life.
I'm going to say Topher throws him a condom.
Fucking pissed.
Basically, what you're saying
Hamilton
is
puts away his polymorph scroll.
you guys are breaking up after this quest.
True, I could do that. Or I could spend my time doing things like masturbating like a normal fucking 32-year-old man.
Well, after once that 15 seconds goes by, you should edit that to sound like a whole bunch of flies.
Fap. Oh, thank God.
Fat dust.
Fap dust. It sounds like
Sounds like a beer can opening up.
It's like a really weak balloon filled with air that's just flipping slowly.
You guys hit the nail on the head. I'm extremely depressed right now. Why is this bard made of crows?
It's the drinky crow.
My bar of crows.
Does it need to have a crowbar? So Crow walks into a bar.
God damn it. Fuck off. And Benedict has no idea what to do with it.
What is this?
no. I'm
The
gonna
crow flies into a bar.
Is he bald?
Man, you're just living all your fantasies in this, aren't you?
No, it's literally just my World of Warcraft character.
Does he have a full head of hair too?
Sort of.
20/20 vision?
I have 2015 vision, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how long I'm going to have 2015 vision. Fair enough.
Inconclusive.
Man, that was so like unintentionally deep. Like that was so good.
That's what she said.
Wow.
Wow.
Stop being such a tease, you little slut.
I'm still investigating the door. I'm not just standing there like a fucking West Virginia road worker watching everybody else work. Ouch.
This got political.
I'm working.
Jim Morrissey
on-
will not allow road workers to be idle.
Jim Morrissey.
God damn it.
Topher, you throw this key.
No.
Or I'm sorry. Wow, my bad.
Wrong.
You catch it and immediately throw it.
I just throw ass.
You hot potato this key off.
Topher just throws ass.
No, so Hamilton, you throw handing out naps like Cosby.
Okay, I still nervous fart. I was worried.
Fair enough.
Okay.
It stinks. Everyone takes 1 damage of poison. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna cast command on myself, and I'm gonna tell Topher to take that rope that he found and hang himself with it.
I don't think there's enough room in this hallway to do that.
It wouldn't matter.
Where there's will, there's a way.
Exactly. I'll just
Fair
hold
enough.
my fucking legs up. It's fine until I fucking die.
All right, so
I believe I
Somebody
saw an
please help.
object in the distance.
I hope people can hear my cry for help in these episodes.
Please ignore him.
Jesus.
actually, are they colorblind? I thought
Trust me, they are.
No, snakes are colorblind.
They're as colorblind as it gets, probably.
I'm looking that up.
Who's an idiot now?
Actually, they rely heavily on the sense of smell because of their tongues sticking out. Going,
They're also
No, he's a boa constrictor, so.
yeah. Snakes have 2 sets of eyes. One set is normal, and the others detect specifically color. So fuck you guys.
Snakes only have 2 eyes.
That's what I just said.
you said they have
So
two
they have
sets.
2 sets of eyes.
eyes.
One set is normal eyes that you see, and the other detect color. They also have vision pits that detect heat and see living creatures like infrared detectors.
Only pit vipers have those, but
Yeah, that's definitely not what this says. If you'd like to correct yourself, that's fine.
I mean, I know that's wrong.
Okay,
We could
that's
ask Jeeb.
probably
Either way,
smarter
I
than
don't care.
Jed is.
I just want them to know that it's going to happen.
Either
It's going to
way,
be something that I keep trying to do.
colors aside, can we just not get off on this tangent about who's what color and why does it matter? Can we just continue with the story?
Fuck your rationality. Quit being so down to earth, Daniel.
I'm just saying. We don't need this to start a race war. Doesn't matter what color. Everybody's equal, unless you're Hamilton.
By edited to sound cool, he means have somebody else do it other than you.
Yeah, you're right, because I definitely haven't been over, 6 episodes, been able to make you sound cool, so... I run past Hamilton, and I don't touch him. I just run him over. And whenever
Like a mom on Black Friday.
trying to get that fucking big screen TV and that Nintendo Switch, motherfucker.
$150 60-inch Westinghouse TV.
As my shin hits the back of his head, and I can hear him go,
I get smaller every episode.
that's how you are in real life too. I do it again.
All right, nothing is coming of anything that you're doing.
I want to narratively explain this.
Okay,
So
nothing happens.
come on now, bear with me real quick.
Okay.
I threw 3 roofies at him. None of them landed in his mouth.
Quaalude.
And
He's got a high tolerance.
after the,
Pudding pop. That is your inclusion in this series, Tony. Congratulations.
That's all you
Anytime
get, one and done.
anytime Benedict transforms into a bear, it is
Toe thumbs.
Toe Thumbs the bear.
Toe thumbs, Tony.
Toe Thumbs Tony Bear.
Bear, too.
okay, so while
When I get to higher levels, you also get to higher levels. Your thumbs grow.
Congratulations.
Your toe thumbs
You
get
have the
even
capability
weirder.
of evolving.
okay, so I'm on top of Toe Thumbs, and we're charging down this hallway. So I'm going to I'm gonna wait till he stops laughing. So
I can't. I
know.
don't know this
No,
guy,
no.
so it's just funny to me.
Tony's awesome.
Yeah, he's
really cool.
Except for his
How
thumbs.
awesome can you be with toe thumbs? I just have this really badass image of like Hamilton standing at the end of this hallway and all Vyswine, Bartholonude, and Benedict, Vyswine and Bartholonude marching down, and then you riding this fucking bear like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe style, like down this hallway. And like,
It sounds really, really, really badass until you look down at its feet and you see those thumbs. And you're like, God damn it.
oh, your thumbs need to get good, bro. Oh God. Oh, I just farted. Okay.